Why, hello there, everybody. It's me, the Trash Boy, and we're doing something a little bit different today. So, we are actually going to be having a friend on it. You can see him right here. Here, allow me to undeafen myself from Discord. Surprise, bitch! You're now live! Did you run away? Vaughn? Vaughn? Don't play me like this, fool. You're muted. I can see you muted. Don't do this to me. He's muted. This motherfucker. How dare you? As you can see in chat, we got Papa Vaughn right there. VonHeileger. Or Heileger. That's actually one of like the OG motherfuckers that supported your boy. Also, I did some things with my computer, so hopefully it runs a little bit better. I'm sure you can tell that the model looks like it's moving a little bit more fluid. Hopefully this will be good for us. But hey, yo, it's a trash. Hey, yo, it's a BB. What up, BB? Yeah, he probably ran for it. He's a cat. He's a crazy little mystical cat back there. That's him. That's my boy Vaughn. But yeah, so sorry that stream is late tonight. Long story short, I was not feeling too well today because the weather was changing and I was like, this is death. So I suffered. So I just stayed in bed because my body didn't want to react to it correctly. And it was just like, nope, it's time to not be good. And I was like, well, that's a bummer. Also, we are not streaming to YouTube anymore. Nothing against YouTube, but I've already got a VOD channel. So why do I need it on there twice? So I was thinking, and then I was like, what about Kick? And because everyone that knows is like Twitch and Quick. Kick is sort of like a clone of Twitch, but like much better in a lot of ways because it has like a revenue split of 95-5 as opposed to 50-50. So I get 95% profits from it. Now it's true, it will take me a little while to get to that point because I need to stream for for at least 5 hours and get 75 followers. Oh no, the most difficult tasks to ever do with streaming. All right, as opposed to Twitch where it's like, get 50 followers, stream for at least 7 days, stream for, hey, what's up, Gecky? You Gecky over on the good website. Wait, why is it not over there? Why is it not in the thing? It's supposed to be on the thing. It's supposed, son of a bitch. Hold up. Hello? Hello? Why is it not in the restream thing? It's supposed to be in the restream thing. It locked me out, the whore. Well, joke's on you. I know my password, I think. Or not. Hold up. I think I know my password. I'm pretty sure I know my password. We're just gonna hope for the best right now. 1% cute. 1% cute, BB. BB.
You're ugly. You're disgusting. I'm gonna kill you. Give me $200.
You are also.
Are you always this pathetic?
A 1 out of 10 gamer. Just slap me and call me Sue, I guess. Right, I got a 2-factor authenticator, I think, again. Oh my god. I'm suffering today. I'm suffering. Yeah, so I started late today because I wasn't feeling great. But you know what? We're here now. And we got Papa Vaughn if he wants to unmute himself. So, I don't know. I told him I would be like a moment while as I start up stuff, but I think he expected me to take a little bit longer to get the starting soon. Because he left. He's not there anymore. Maybe his Discord dropped or something. I don't know. So I just had a curiosity. Why the fuck is it not showing Kick in my restream? Why did it log me out again? Restream! Quit being a cock! What the fuck? I'm so confused. I'm breaking shit. Nice. No, it's just restreams being a fucking douche. Well, that's not good. Yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be my stream if it wasn't scuffed. But, well, Gecky, how is audio and everything? How is video over there? Is everything going well? What the fuck is that emote? Oh, God. Why is it making me log in and out so many fucking times? Like, this is weird. Restreams just won't let me log in now. Are you serious? Bro. I can't even. I can't even. I have white girled. I can't even anymore. Show, what's up, homie? What's up? As you guys can see, by the way, out of all the money that I needed to get back and everything for all my bills, we literally are just under $30 shy of everything. So hell yeah, thank you guys so much. You guys literally saved my fucking life. And Gecky, you the boy. You the boy. I had to bug Gecky a couple times. So hell yeah, we're so close. I was able to pay my phone bill, and my mom was like, okay, well, don't stress about the last like 30 bucks, right? Well, at the US, so whatever the fuck it was. I think it's like 50 Canadian. I think is what that is. 40, 50 bucks. I don't fully remember, but I have that number in front of me. That's why I can't think of the actual fucking number. But yeah, okay. Can I get my restream shit to work, please? Where is it? Chat? Come on, hello? Okay. Okay, so for some reason it's not adding kick. I don't know why. Wait, why is it not? You know, I don't understand. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Okay, so I'm glad to hear that. I may need to add. I don't know how all that shit works, honestly. You know what? Maybe it's because I don't have like certain things. Vaughn, you ran away. I am back. You better be. Hop in that channel, bro. Hop in that channel. My man. I bet you his Discord killed it. Like it just committed Sudoku. Bet you. On my way. He was here. We literally were talking, and I was like, all right, 1 second. I'm just gonna do my little intro. And then he was like, all right. Then he was gone. And I was like, no. This motherfucker. This motherfucker.
The timing on what just happened was so freaking. No, my whole power cycled in my house. There's an excessive amount of houses going up in the neighborhood, and they are not doing a very good job of keeping the power controlled. But you came in and said, "You're live now, bitch," and immediately my power went out. It was gone.
Oh, because it showed that you were muted. I was like, this motherfucker muted. But nope,
yeah, I was in the process of clicking on mute. It was so funny.
Oh god.
Anyway, I'm back. Hello.
Oh, bye. Well, Gecky, you're the only person over there right now. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm streaming on Kick and on Twitch, but my main reason is why stream on YouTube. As much as I love YouTube, don't get me wrong. But I already have the VOD channel, so I don't need to stream on there. And like, I don't get any viewership on YouTube anyways. So like, maybe in the future, if I feel like, you know, if I end up having like money, right, and then I'll just like pay for restream so I can stream to there as well. But I'm not gonna pay for it if it's gonna cuck me like this. Live now dies. Exactly, show. Exactly. It's so weird calling you show now. Why did I start calling you show? I've always called you crit. Have you noticed that?
Show crit?
Have you noticed that? I've always called you crit. And just like the past like month or two, I've started calling you show, and I don't know why. It's on you, homie. Hey, I'm a little brain dead. All right. I keep like looking this way at my other monitor to see if Gecky said anything over on Kick. But like, hey, if you guys want to go and follow me on my Kick, I gotta here, you know what, hold on, Gecky, can you copy and paste the my actually, what is the URL? Is it just kick.com/trashmouse? Or show? Oh wait, I mean crit. He did it. I answered to both, so it's Gucci. Yeah. But yeah, so everyone, this is Papa Vaughn. All right, now Papa Vaughn, do you remember why you got that name? It's an interesting story.
I cannot remember. It was. Remind me.
You want? Okay. Everyone, allow me to tell you the tale of Papa Vaughn on how he came into my life. So a great many years ago, I used to stream VR chat in desktop mode. And I was in a random world. Well, it wasn't a random world. It was one of my favorite worlds at the time. But it was a public one. And this little muted cat comes in and it sits near us. And we're like, okay, well, it's a mute, whatever. They can see that we're streaming and just kind of hanging out. And he's just quietly sitting there. What a good cat. So we're all just shooting the shit, talking. And I had mentioned that I was having some money issues because I was just talking with friends. Because back in that time, when you talked on, like when you streamed VR chat, it wasn't like, I'm gonna dance, look at my fake body. It was more of just like, people being people and having conversations. That's all it was, right? Like, yeah, there was stuff like Lolathon and whatnot where he would scare his friends and he'd do like the funny things, and like there was like the comedy aspect to it, of course. But a lot of the streamers back then were just friends hanging out and talking, and that's what I really loved about it. Like good old like 2018 VR chat, 2018 or 2019. I think that was 2018 though. So
that was a while ago.
That was 5 years ago, my friend. So I'm sitting there and I'm telling my friends about how I was having some money issues and, you know, how I hadn't ate yet that day, right? And like I'm sure Vaughn somehow realized that I was streaming because everyone was standing in a particular way in front of me, so they were all in camera, but I was by myself, and like everyone would like kind of shift themselves to be in front of me, right? Because back then, like, no one was like, oh, you got an orbiter. It was more of like, these are actually my friends and they want to be on camera with me, so we have a conversation. And I think he kind of put 2 and 2 together. Either that or I had somehow, or someone had mentioned, or I had mentioned that I was streaming, right? So this sneaky little quiet cat that was sitting off to the side goes to my Twitch, and he decided, oh, look, he has a pop-up that show, because at the time, my commands were messed up and my timers. So for some reason, the food command, right? So you guys can send me food, was popping up like every 5 minutes, right? It wasn't supposed to. It was supposed to pop up every like, I think I had it set to like 55 minutes. That way it would not line up with other stuff, because you have like strange increments and they won't pop up on the same time, right? Because sometimes you'll see like a 10-minute one and a half-hour one. Well, then they'll both pop up after a half hour because 3 10 minutes, right? So my food alarm thing goes off, and no one had ever sent me food before, right? I think I'd been mentioning that I had treat stream or something, right? Earlier in the day to someone, and like that there was a command. Maybe that's how he found out about it. I don't know, but I assume it was from the timer thing. And I hear this alert on my stream that I've never heard before, and then I glance over at my other monitor. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Someone sent me food? And it was a pizza. They sent me pizza. And then I looked at the name and I was like, VonHeileger. Who the fuck is VonHeileger? And I glance over and I see this little cat just sitting off to the side, and all I hear is like that laugh that you just heard. Yeah, all you heard was that. And I'm like, I just run over to him, I'm like, you. Thank you. And he was just like, I remember this. Yeah, and then like I was like, you're part of the group now. You have to hang out with us. So I added him as a friend. And we're shooting the shit, and we're like, you know what? It's funny. We should, because he said pizza, and the first thing that was ever sent to me on Treat Stream was pizza. Well, Vaughn sounds similar to John. He's Papa Vaughn, and that's why we've called him Papa Vaughn ever since. Our first encounter with him, and he already had a nickname.
Yes, the good old days.
Yeah, that's my boy. It's weird to think that it's been like 5 years or so that we've known each other.
Yeah, I was thinking about it the other day. I was like, dang, I know some of these people for quite a long time, and then I was like, oh, that's because I'm old.
Bro, don't remind me. I just hit my late 30s. Or late 30s, late 20s. I'm approaching 30, right? I'm approaching. I was gonna say late 30s. I age so quick. No.
You are not older than me.
No, I'm not. I'm a baby. But like, no, like I'm literally 2 months away from hitting my late 20s, and like 30 is rapidly approaching. I'm like, what happened to high school? I remember I was just in high school. You know, like, I legit don't remember how we met. I kind of defaulted to do a Shuggy. No, I don't think you and I met through Shuggy. Shuggy was a mutual friend that we found out about. I used to my 30s, slowly dying about to hit mid 30s. Yeah, like I'm about to hit 30. Sorry, I'm almost 27. Okay, I'm 27 in a couple months, so which is the late 20s. And anyone could argue this, but like your early 20s are the first 4 years, because 20 obviously is the 0 of which makes it the lowest, right? And then so 1, 2, 3, right? There's the early, right? And then 4, 5, 6, there's the middle, and then 7, 8, 9, there's the late, right? Because after that, you're not in your 20s. So I'm about to be in my late 20s. I'm like, kill me. I don't like this boy old. Gicky, I'm not in my 30s. I lied. I'm just stupid. You guys know this. Floats into the casket at 34, soon to be 35. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean,
too.
okay, but to be fair,
I'm a couple weeks away from 35.
God damn. You old.
Yeah.
See, the thing is though, Crit doesn't even look like he's in his 30s. Sometimes when I look at Crit, I don't like, if it wasn't for him being a walking tank, okay, I wouldn't even think he was in his 20s, okay? Like, I love you, Crit. I really do. You have a baby voice, okay? And are you a June baby as well, Vaughn?
Yep.
Yep.
I am. I'm a June bug.
A June bug. Oh. I'm just Cancer. I'm a July baby. But
it's the next best.
Boy, old and Joe are bullying me on Kick, and no one over here can see it. God damn it.
I'm tempted to go over to Kick just to check it out. I've never actually been on Kick before.
Do it up. Crit, would you mind copying and pasting that into, or, oh wait, you can't copy and paste it into, oh yeah, you can, you're VIP. You can copy and paste the URL from my Kick into my Twitch, please. That way, people over there can get it. Thank you, my friend. It is just kick.com/trashmouse. Good to know. I appreciate you, brother. So, also, I did something last night, and I don't think any of you guys know about it. Something a little bit different. I streamed last night, but nobody here saw it. Almost guaranteed none of you did. It was on TikTok. I streamed TikTok. I streamed there. First time, man. First time ever. Almost ancient. You spelled ancient wrong. You had an H. You went sicko mode. You streamed to OnlyFans, right? I did not. I don't even have ID, so I can't even set that up. I want to, though. I mean, what? Yeah, everyone knows I worked in adult film before this. Anyways. Yeah, I streamed on TikTok last night. And I streamed some Ocarina of Time because I felt like playing Ocarina of Time. And I made it to the fire dungeon in like an hour and a half, 2 hours. And I was just kind of like chill, just talking with people, just, you know, rambling about dumb stuff. So yeah.
Wait.
OnlyFans streams go hard. They do.
Can't use my username on Kick?
What? You should be able to. Do you have underscores or shit in or spares?
No, it says that my username contains profanity.
What?
I'm guessing it's picking up Heil and it's considering that profanity.
Oh, yeah. You could just call it Papa Vaughn. Guarantee it's there. I got just Trash Mouse. Like, no underscores.
No.
I mean, I wanted the underscores. The underscores are part of my branding now, and I couldn't get the underscores because I could put one in the middle, but I can't have them at the end. And I was like, son of a bitch.
Okay, that'll work.
Are you Papa Vaughn?
No, Papa Vaughn was already taken.
God damn it!
I'm Vinicious. I'll just have to be viciously Vinicious.
Oh god. That's gonna be so confusing. At least as long as it has Vaughn in it, I'll know it's Papa Vaughn. Because I'll call you that anyways. I've always called you that. But, yeah, so I know that you do a lot of Dungeons and Dragons, my friend. Okay? And as such, I would like your opinion on the type of YouTube videos I'm going to be making. And they aren't Dungeons and Dragons necessarily by any means. But there's going to be, like, almost, I wouldn't say a roleplay element, but it's the way that the world building works in Dungeons and Dragons that you might find particularly interesting about it. Okay, so all the D&D. I would love to play Dungeons and Dragons again. I haven't played it in so long. But anyways, so as a lot of you guys that are in the Discord know, I was working on a video the other night. I recorded all of the audio, 17.5 minutes of audio. Okay, me 17.5 minutes of just here's blah 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 blah. You know, like. I'm sad I'm down to play only 1 game a week from 3. Oof. Yeah, I used to play once a week back when I was like, 21. But, yeah, so I recorded all the audio for it, and I've mentioned it before on stream, but I'm doing a You Know Nothing About series, right, where it does a deep dive into a character, and it's inspired by NC Hammer 23's videos, but I'm going to be obviously taking my own twist and throwing it on there. And I'm going to be making parts of it similar to like the Russian Badger, using VR chat instead of mocap. Okay, and my first character is 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐭 because 𝐁𝐫𝐴MER23, also known as the Weeb Commander, does not touch Dragon Ball. So I was like, this is big brain. Vicious. Now I am here also. Yes, boost my views everywhere, everybody. Boost my views. So I'm doing a deep dive into it, all right? And I would like to hear your opinion as someone that consumes content in similar fashions and also plays Dungeons and Dragons, where it's very much like world building storytelling. So if I do like a deep dive into his story, right? And I give all of the, like, this is why people believe this, but here's also reasoning why he isn't weak, he's actually strong, and blah, blah. What do you think of that in the style of super deep dive, lots of information, but also comedic aspects similar to the Russian Badger? What do you think?
Now, I am a huge fan of that. That is by far one of the most viewed kind of content I have on YouTube Shorts and TikTok. So,
awesome.
Yes, 100%. With your voice, even more so.
Okay. Now here's another video style I'm gonna be making, Cake. So my main real plan, all right, because I like doing my tech videos and my how-tos and blah blah and this, that, whatever. But here's the thing. I don't really care about doing that. But I really like anime and video games. So that's gonna be anime related one, all right? So have you ever heard of Fudge Muppet on YouTube?
Fudge Muppet?
Yes, they do Elder Scrolls lore videos where they tell you as if they're not like necessarily a dungeon master by any means, but more of like they're recounting the history of like in like a what a DM kind of would.
Oh, Fudge. Oh, I see. Yes.
Yeah, they do Elder Scrolls lore. I don't feel like touching Elder Scrolls lore because, number one, too complex. Too many people be like, well, you do this, blah, blah. I mean, the side story that was written by the person that used to be the original creator of the lore, but then they left the company, so it's not really canon. But because it's their inspiration that they were part of it, the thought process originally was that it was going to be this, and therefore we can infer that it's probably still correct, even though what they wrote is no longer canon. And I'm like, I'm not gonna touch Elder Scrolls. So like that's exactly how that's gonna go. So yeah. So here's my plan though. I fucking love Zelda. Legend of Zelda is amazing.
Zelda one.
I've already got the script written. I just gotta record it.
Yes.
But
yes.
So I'm gonna be doing that, and I'm gonna be doing a deep dive. It's called The Lore Behind. Right? Rather than like trying to be funny and be like, blah, blah, like here's like the information in a huge dump, but there's gonna be like cuts in it where it's like funny shit happening, right? There's gonna be, it's just information in that way. So it'll be a lot more chill, relaxed, and I won't have any of my VTuber related stuff in it, right? But it will be, you know, still on that channel. I'm thinking I do the Forest Temple from Ocarina of Time, and my script that I've already written and just gotta record is pretty much explaining it, the background of it, theories behind it, and like shit that happens in it, right? And it's gonna be very much so like, this is like the history of this place kind of thing. And it's gonna be a lot more chill and relaxed. And I found a tool, yeah, it's the NoClip tool, all right? I always wondered, like when you watch like, say, any of those like people that do like Nintendo deep dives, like Nintendo Black Crisis or Bandit Games and stuff like that, like when they do like Legend of Zelda and they're doing like Ocarina of Time and stuff, how they have like those really cool cinematic shots. And it's like, how the fuck did you get that in game? It's because there's this website called NoClip, all right? And they have a bunch of games on there, and you could just explore the maps, and it's got a built-in studio mode that allows you to control a camera or get smooth transitions and shots and shit. And I was like, yo. So I'm gonna be using that for it. So that's gonna be my plan for that one. What do you think of that one, my friend?
That sounds exciting.
Ooh.
I'd watch it 100%.
Okay, because I won't just be doing Zelda with that. But like, so I have the You Know Nothing About series, right? Which is going to be not just Dragon Ball, it'll be other stuff like You Know Nothing About Deku Nuts, right? Not just explain Deku Nuts in depth, right? Because so nobody fucking understands Deku Nuts. I throw down the thing and then they disappear, but or they throw down the thing and they disappear, but when I throw it down, the person's just paralyzed. Like, what do you think they did to you? They paralyzed and walked away. That's all they did. They didn't disappear. They just froze you and they ran the fuck away. That's all it was, dumbass. You know, so it'd be like, I wouldn't say it like that, but I'd probably say it like that, but like, you know what I mean.
There'll be a moment in the video probably where you go off like that.
Me going off script isn't super good. I've realized that. I either have to not use a script at all and just have jot notes, or I need to not miss a single word in the script, or else I'll completely fuck up what my thought process was when I was writing it, and I won't sound like how I intended to. So that's the lore behind series. And then I've got that's the You Know Nothing About series. Then I have the lore behind series. Okay. And the lore behind is going to be, like that Zelda one, but I'm going to do like stuff like the lore behind the Kamehameha, and I'll like talk about its real world inspiration, like where the name came from, what inspired different aspects of the Kamehameha or something like that, like just as an example, right? I'll also be looking into Halo because I really like Halo. So that's where my third series comes into play. All right, 3 different forms of content that are all going to be very similar in it's just being like lots of info. But this one's gonna be more closer to the You Know Nothing About, and it's called Makes No Sense. And my first example is either gonna be Master Chief's height in Halo, or it's going to be Master Chief versus Spartan Locke. Because neither of those make sense. Yamish! Yamish, you just became a sub. You enjoy being my sub.
Table here, trash made hang frosted security.
Master Chief's height.
Yeah, Master Chief's height. Well, because just play Halo 4 and you'll understand. Just watch the cutscenes and you'll be like, wow, that motherfucker went from like 7.5 feet tall to like 9.5 feet tall. And then like in Halo 5, they're like, and he shrunk. Like
he got swole and then he got old.
Yeah, well, no, it's like the same fucking year. They're just like, oh no, he's back to 7.5 feet tall. It's like, why? He just got like digivolved and they took it away from him.
He skipped a phase in his life. He just, he went from, the prime years to absolute bottom.
No, not even. He's even stronger because Infinite comes after
Chief.
that. It's not Chibi Chief. He goes back to his original height because like there's a Spartan in it, and she's just like, wow, thought you'd be taller. Fucking typical Spartan 4s, pieces of shit. I hate them all. Anyways, there's only one good Spartan 4. Yeah, I hope so. I don't like a lot of the Spartan 4s. The only good Spartan 4 is Bucky. I think it's his name, Buck. He's an ODST that
Spartan
became one.
4s.
Spartan 4s are the ones that are in Halo 4 onwards. Because
right.
Spartan 3s are in Reach, and Spartan 2s are in like the original Halo series, which is Master Chief. You don't encounter any other Spartan 2s aside from George that is in Halo Reach, because it's a Spartan 2 with a bunch of Spartan 3s. But he's technically a failed Spartan 2 because he has emotions. But, he fit in really well with the Spartan 3s. But Spartan 4s aren't Spartans, all right? They're just
glorified soldiers.
They're Spartans with like a dumbed down, weak as fuck Spartan formula pumped into them, right? They were good soldiers, sure, but they're all cocky as fuck. They all suck. Thought you'd be taller. Thought you'd be useful. Fucking right? Yeah. Oh my god, bro. Like, exactly.
Response.
Arturo, what's up, homie? But yeah, Yamish, exactly. She says, thought you'd be taller. And then at the end of the game, right, because she was looking him in the eye when she said that originally. At the end of the game, there's a specific cutscene where she kind of looks like, what the fuck? Because he's like, she's not even up to his nipple anymore, okay? Like, she was his height. And it's like, what the fuck happened to his height? Like, and don't even get me started on the fucking Spartan Locke thing. So that's where I'm gonna, that's gonna be that. It makes no sense. It'll be a little bit more, it'll be more close to the You Know Nothing About, but the makes no sense is gonna be me just getting aggressive about it, all right? But like still having the same kind of comedy that the other one had. So it'll be like 3 different types of content. Yeah, that's my plan for those. Yeah. By the way, guys, possibly randomly in the middle of the night or sometime during the day tomorrow, I will most likely go live on TikTok, so you guys should go check out my TikTok. Are you opening a Snickers bar in my ear holes? What the fuck, man?
I'm trying to be as quiet as possible. It's
well, you're not
a soft bar.
What the fuck is a soft bar?
It's just a Cliff Bar for kids. I've been getting a lot of dental work done IRL, and it has been hell. So,
Vaughn, we just
eating
went
has
over the
been
fact that
difficult.
you're turning 35. You are not the kids.
Yeah, but this
He's
is
like,
easy to eat.
"Fuck you." I'm gonna eat my bear paw. Leave me be. Like.
Actually, new development in Papa Vaughn's life. I've actually been cooking. IRL. Been cooking. Yeah, that is something that I never would have thought. Like when we met and someone in VR chat said, "Hey, do you cook? You look like someone who'd cook." I'd have laughed at their face and been like, "Nah, screw you. I burn water." Well, I don't burn water anymore.
Bro, my ex used to burn water.
Yeah,
Like
no,
not like making that shit like evaporate. No, like a black film was
like,
on top of the water.
Literally light the water on fire. Yeah, I've done that before.
Yep.
That's it scared me away from cooking for a very long time. And then I started, baking and I enjoyed it. So I decided to just keep cooking and I've been enjoying it.
Did you just say you set the water on fire?
Yes.
You need to clean your dishes more.
Okay, look, it was not my dishes,
there's
and it was
grease in there.
definitely not my place, so...
Yeah. Soft Park doesn't have a chub yet. Oh god, Yumish, what's up? There will always be the kids. Honestly, facts. All right, Crit, I get it. That's how I have to. Like, I don't care how old I am. I'll probably always be a kid. My dad is in his 50s and he's still a fucking kid. All right, so like, yeah. You gotta always pretend that you're young until eventually you die of old age. You go, but I'm still only 87. Like, make my cooking sound okay. Okay, so like, here's the thing. I'm actually really good at cooking. I just don't like cooking anymore. Because when I lived with my ex and the roommate, like, I cooked like almost every meal, right? Like, there was the odd time I wasn't the one cooking a meal, but like, usually I was the one cooking all the meals. And then, like, you do that for people for years. And they just don't respect it, and then they end up, kind of ruining your life. So you kind of lose an interest in ever cooking again, right?
My kid brother is the exact same way, by the way. He used to be a cook. He does not like cooking. He's good at it, but he does not like cooking anymore.
That's me. Like, that's 100% me. Like, I hate cooking now. My mom's like, well, you can go cook something. I'm like, if it is not me throwing toast in the toaster, I ain't fucking doing it. Like, that's as close to cooking as you're gonna get from me.
Doing cooking.
Yeah, like, there's a difference if it's a job, because then I would, but like, I worked in a kitchen for how fucking long? Like, I don't want to now. Like, yeah, sure, it was a McDonald's kitchen, and I've worked in a pizza kitchen, I've worked in fucking all sorts of kitchens, but like, like, McDonald's was the one I was in the longest, and, like, I don't think I ever want to work for somebody again, unless it's gonna be like a chill job, like, if I had to like work at like Hot Topic or something, I burn everything because of ADHD. I must keep only on cooking, no matter if it downtime or something happens. I assume that I was supposed to say keep my mind on cooking, but yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Fucking Twitch ads. Hey, at least you can swap over there. Wait, how are you getting Twitch ads? You shouldn't have gotten any Twitch ads. No one should be getting Twitch ads right now. I have pre-rolls disabled because I do 3 minutes of ads at the beginning of my stream. So there's an entire hour of none. And
I've been
like,
hearing
they
some
for 25.
tales that Twitch has been doing ad-related stuff and it's been pissing people off.
Okay, I'm not gonna complain about my ads with Twitch, because I have a special agreement with them, and I make significantly more than the average person when it comes to ads on Twitch. So I can't get bitchy. I will not complain about it. I will not also talk about bad things about that on my stream. But yeah.
No, yeah, I actually I have a respect for it because some people actually need to make money, and that's the only way they make it.
You make not enough. But like it's okay. Let's just say that this is not a factual statement, all right? But let's just pretend, okay, that I make about 5 times the average amount in ad revenue than even like big streamers right now, because I'm part of an experimental thing. Okay, let's just pretend that I'm making 5 times the amount. Okay, it's still not enough to warrant really how much I have to do it. But at the same time, I understand that pre-roll ads are going to be a problem. So if I do my 3 minutes of ads at the beginning of my stream in every hour, then there's no pre-roll ads for an hour, right? Making it so more people are able to stop by and actually watch my content. So that's why in about 25 minutes, we're going to have a ad alert coming across screen. And we're going to have our 3 minutes of not talking about anything important or doing anything too fancy. Because that way the people that are on Twitch that are getting 3 minutes of ads are able to go take a piss, go take a shit if they need to, if they're able to go quick, grab a snack, grab some water, you know, do a stretch, whatever they got to do, because there's nothing important going to happen, and they can focus on taking care of themselves for a moment. All right. It'll be that little commercial break. Yeah, it's a commercial break. That's all it is, man. All right. So they even with that, and with how much ads get run on my account, it is nothing compared to what I would be making off of just one of my videos on YouTube through AdSense. And I definitely do not make 5 times the amount of other people. Just saying. But yeah, we'll just regard that as it is. Close so many streamers because I just wanted a quick idea of what they are. 3 minutes or whatever, it kills my will to search. Yeah, that's why I do that 3 minutes every hour. Like the beginning of like 3 minutes of my stream, nothing happens, right? I'm getting ready. It's to my starting soon screen, so it doesn't matter, right? And then every hour, I'm like, hey guys, go, you know, take a piss, do whatever. If you're subbed, then, you know, obviously you aren't gonna have to deal with ads anyways, right? So I'll be here and we can just talk about stuff that's not important in that 3-minute ad break. So, but it gives people time to go, you know, use the washroom, grab a drink, you know, do whatever they gotta do, stretch, you know, whatever. So, yep. I think it's a smart way to do it.
I agree with you on that one.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so
I didn't pay too much attention.
Fair enough. So what's new in the life of Papa Von?
Other than the cooking.
Yeah.
And the extensive amounts of health-related work being done right now. Not much.
Don't tell me you're dying.
We're all dying eventually.
That's what you think. I've already died 7 times.
Well, there's still at least 2 more times.
I'm a mouse, not a cat. Womp womp. Yeah.
Oh, that was funny. Yeah, no, I lost my job.
Oof.
Yeah.
Have you considered OnlyFans? He's like, well, I mean, yeah, I've thought about it. Like,
I may have what is considered a handsome face.
He's
but
like,
I am not
so
gonna
if
look.
Yeah, he's like, so if I just have my very masculine face and I throw on a skirt and I shave my legs. Man, I was sitting there talking the one day. I was just like, you know what? If I were to just like shave my beard, right, and my mustache and whatnot, like my whole goatee thing that I got going on, my facial hair, right, and because I got long hair now, right? Well, not really long in my opinion, but like it's long for most people, at least for a guy. So I was like, if I just were to like shave that, and I were to like thin out my eyebrows a little bit, put on a little bit of eyeshadow, some eyeliner, and wear a black mask, right, like the COVID mask type thing. I got crop tops. Skirts aren't hard to come by. I already shaved my legs in the summer. Yumish, don't nut at that. God damn. So I could do that, and then I'd just be like, haha, look at me, I'm femboy, blah blah blah. And then I'd be like, oh, I got muscle, right? And then I just wouldn't show like my proper face because it would kill the illusion because I have a masculine looking face. So I was like, yeah, I'd just go femboy. Easy money. Oh, by the way, big advantage that Kick has over Twitch when it comes to emotes. Everyone that is in the Kick chat, do you know what button is different over there? Do you see what button is different there? I'm sure that you do. I'm sure that you do. They're gonna sit there and be like, son of a bitch. And for those that are currently only on the Twitch, go check out my Kick as well. All right. Yeah, not a fucking clue. It literally popped up on screen. It is also the only button emote. All right, like is different there. 2 brain cells fighting for 3rd place at the moment. Fair.
I'm with Crit here.
You're kicking too? Yeah, I'm doing both at the same time right now, man. rather than streaming to YouTube, I was like, I already got the VOD channel. I don't need to stream to YouTube as well. And then if I end up like making, you know, like enough money over time, once I, you know, get things back in order, then maybe I will pay for restream. Apparently fucking not though, if he's gonna cuck me and not let me fucking show my kick chat over here. But you know, whatever. 2 brain cells fighting for third though. I think that I love that fucking saying. My dad says that. Well, he says something similar. He says, I only got 2 brain cells. One missing, the other one's out looking for him. So it's close enough. It's similar. Like it's just ooh. Yeah. I recommend you guys check it out, Kick, because Twitch looks like it's going downhill, and I called that years ago. That they were gonna like have all these problems, and then ad revenue was gonna change, and splits were gonna change with partners. And people are like, no, that's not gonna happen. It's backed by Amazon. I'm like, did you never take a business course once in your life? Look at it. It has all the telltale signs of them just milking it as much as they can until they just kill it or sell it. So
do they not know who owns Amazon?
I swear, if you say Jeff Bezos, I'm gonna laugh at you because he doesn't own it anymore.
Nope.
I don't know who then, but that's the only name I know.
Actually, yeah. That was the question. I need to be informed. Please tell me.
Google. Oh,
I was asking.
Yeah. No, I don't know. Seamus, what's up, brother? Seamus, go check out my Kick. It's the same as Twitch, but like we make more money there.
Yeah, I always say that though when people start complaining about big companies, you know, doing things. I'm like, do you know who owns big company?
That's right. It all comes back to Mark Zuckerberg.
That's right. You're right.
Could you imagine?
Robot. That guy.
The reptilian. I mean, the thumb. The dude that he looks like a Muppet. You know.
That one guy with the eyes that don't blink.
Oh my god! Literally, he just sits there like, hi.
They're just like, please.
He's got that weird bug eyes.
For the love of the gods, blink. Just blink.
No. Oh well. Yeah, so we've gone over the video ideas that I've got. We've got, whoa, my tracking got kind of wonky here. We've gone over what's been going on with the Papa VODs. So for those that don't know, Papa VOD actually, like back when he was, you know, Mr. I Deliver You Pizza, he used to be, prior to the downfall of the world, all right, that fucked you over big time. This man right here, I love 𝐂𝐸, don't get me wrong. 𝐂𝐸 is one of my closest friends. When it came to like wasting stupid amounts of money on people, VOD was up there, all right? Like, he made 𝐂𝐸 look like he's like a penny pincher, all right? And I was like, what the hell, man?
But was it a waste when the one doing the put quotes around this waste enjoyed it?
Are you telling me that you got off on giving me money?
Well, not
because there's a conversation that we need to have.
But, you know.
Nah, man, there were so many days that I didn't go hungry because of this motherfucker.
And it was worth it.
Yeah, my goal right now is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody. No, it's my goal is become fucking rich, all right? And then we hit back all the people that ever helped us like tenfold. That's the plan. Oh god, that's a lot of words. Excuse me, Mr. Kettle. Mr. Pot just called. He says you're what? It's a different phrase. That ain't nothing to do with race. I'm sorry. It's just you look like. I remember this. Oh, now you see that. That was right. I'm fucking okay. Sword Art Online Abridged is like the only way to watch Sword Art Online. I'm sorry. Sword Art Online is fucking garbage. Like amazing concept, so poorly executed that the abridged is considered more canon by the fan base. Didn't mean to hit enter. Oh sure.
So amazing.
Yeah.
I actually love the
bridge
because
scene.
of the abridged.
No, just the
only
abridged.
Because of the abridged. Yeah.
I like the bridge scene where it's like, you better start praying to your God, but he's all out of mercy. And he's just like, my numbers are bigger than yours. You can't hurt me faster than I can heal them. And it's like, here, and he says to the kid, like, Yeah, you're in the splash zone. You might want to back up. She's like, splash zone.
Splash zone.
Like, I fucking love that shit, man. So good. Oh, bro. Yeah, the abridged is fucking dope. I love that. But,
in a situation like that, the abridged would be way more accurate anyway.
Honestly, though, right? That's why everyone's like, okay, the abridged makes more sense than the original story. Because it's such an amazing idea. So poorly executed. Also, what was even the point? We gotta beat the game. They give up halfway through and just like, here's the boss. You know, like, what the fuck?
Yeah, seriously. And then let's not even get, started on number 2.
I only watched the abridged of that as well. I don't like it. I've tried watching Sword Art Online. I'm like, this is garbage. Oh my god.
I could get through the first one, like, pretty easily. I could get through the Gun Gale one pretty easily, but the Sword Art Online 2, nah.
No, like ๊lfheim Online.
Yeah, the ๊lfheim Online. Yeah, they killed a character, not killed, like they ruined a character, and at that point I was like, yeah, it's just not worth it.
Yeah. A quantum supercomputer calculating for 1,000 years could not even approach the number of fucks I do not give. They're fucking great. There's a new episode out. I gotta check it out.
There's a new episode out? Have I not?
Of Abridged. Of Abridged, yeah, new one just came out. Yeah. Yeah, it just came out like a week or two ago, I think. Have you watched Goblin Slayer Abridged?
I started, but I have a problem with Goblin Slayer in general.
What? I love Goblin Slayer. It's just Dungeons and Dragons, dude. It literally is just Dungeons and Dragons.
It's more I look at the goblins and I'm like,
bro, you play Dungeons and Dragons. You know what goblins do. That's what they're known for.
The goblins in the universe I run do not act like that.
But you know how goblins have always been in every lore ever. All right.
And I've
every
never
fantasy lore, that's how goblins reproduce. You know that. They are meant to be evil things. They're supposed to be weak, so you want to kill them because of the bad shit they do.
I wasn't.
You know that.
Reproduction, by the way, their reproduction is, that's a different thing.
Oh, okay. That's the main problem everyone has. So I just assumed.
Yeah, no, that's usually what people go off about when they're like, I don't like that show. No.
Oh no, there's SA. Yes, from evil goblins.
About the goblins.
Okay, then where is your problem with it?
Or really the goblins? No, I started watching it, and I was like, I got halfway through the first episode. I was like, this is just not like my thing anymore.
What? You didn't get far enough into it. It's got like insanely cool fights. Mind you, okay, hold on. I have the perfect way to get you into it, all right? Do you like Doom?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, do you like the music from Doom?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I want you to do me a favor after stream tonight. I want you to go on YouTube, and I want you to search up when the Doom music kicks in, Goblin Slayer, and just watch that scene. Yeah, so you know it's good!
No.
Because he's like, I'm dead anyways, but you know what? Fuck it, I got a potion. I have 1 HP. Berserker Rage. And he fucks him up. Yeah.
See, now I can definitely enjoy scenes like that. That's for sure.
There's a lot of them. Like most of the anime scenes like that, or just like really good planning.
I just really love to see an anime or a show or really any form of media at all where the goblins or the orcs aren't actually the bad guys.
That time I got reincarnated as a slime.
That's actually a really good example. I do like that one.
Yes. Amazing anime. One of the best isekais out there. I have an argument I want to make with someone, and I need support or counterpoints, but I'm gonna read chat real quick and then I'll throw this at you, alright? Might have seen it. We have goblins like that in IRL. We do, honestly. Florida is a good example. No, it's not even joking. I get it. He gives no F's for the women. Yeah, facts. Okay, so here's my argument that I would like to make, and it has been an anime that I'm currently rewatching, which apparently had a second season I didn't know about. I knew it had a third and fourth, but I guess I didn't know about the second one because I thought third and fourth, second and third. But whatever. Inuyasha. All right. I never fully watched that as a kid. Did you know that they made another like season to it in like 2008, 2009? I didn't know that. All right. I remember this like being out in like 2004. All right. But anyways, so INUYASHA, I'm rewatching it because I never fully watched it as a kid. And it was the first anime I recognized as an anime that got me into it. I still have the manga. Okay. So, oh, I hope so, unless my books are all destroyed because they're in the cold storage. Oh, fuck. I'm gonna have to check that later when I eventually clear out the cold storage. If they've lasted this long, they'll last another week or two. Anyways, sort of an isekai. Okay, does it count as an isekai? Because she does go to another world, but that world is her world 500 years ago.
Yeah, but she's not reincarnated, is she?
She's a reincarnation of 𝐾𝐞𝐭.
So she is reincarnated.
Yeah, but in her world, she's not. But when she goes to this world, she's a reincarnation. So is INUYASHA an isekai? Because Kagome is a reincarnation of 𝐾𝐞𝐭, all right? And she goes to that world, meaning that she's a reincarnation of someone from that world. But that world is her world 500 years ago. So, look, I show you are more than welcome to join, homie. But, like, does that count as an isekai?
You know, I'm thinking
Because isekai means other world, doesn't it? Like, going to another world? Is that not just that you don't need to die to go to the isekai? Because Digimon is an isekai. Because they go to the digital world.
Oh, does that make Mega Man an isekai?
Yes. Yes. If they go into the battle network or whatever the fuck, yeah. Makes an isekai. It does count. Okay, so if Kagome going to the feudal era of Japan, all right, counts as going to another world, even though it's the same world, all right, and it makes an isekai, all right, I would argue that INUYASHA is also a mahou shoujo anime. A magical girl anime. Hear me out. Here is my argument. Okay.
Okay.
She wears her school uniform, also known as a sailor uniform. Okay.
Oh, no.
When she is in that world, she has the magical power to shoot magic arrows. But in her world, she can't shoot magic arrows. Okay? So by going to that world, she transforms. Now, she retains some of her power of being able to see the Shikon jewel shards, all right? But when she goes there, she gets magical powers, such as barriers and such, okay? Does that make it a mahou shoujo? Is she a magical girl when she goes through that well? Is that her transformation? Because if you consider it that way, when she jumps through the well, there is a big, swirling, blue, colorful spectrum of lights around her, okay? And she gets the ability to use magic.
So would that be a mahou shoujo isekai?
Yes, that's what I'm asking. Does it make INUYASHA into a mahou shoujo isekai?
I think to be considered an isekai, you have to die.
No, Digimon is an isekai.
Digimon is not an isekai.
Google it. Digimon is considered one of the first isekai animes.
Digimon, I don't care what they say. That's the same thing as the creator
Isekai means other world.
GIF means GIF. No, the default for isekais, you generally have to die out of your world to be sent to the next world.
What is isekai? Isekai is a subgenre of fantasy in which a character is suddenly transported from their world into another, or into a new or unfamiliar one. It has nothing to do with death.
Ugh,
yeah, it's transported. So, and even then, I would argue that she did technically die a couple times in the anime. I've been watching it, okay? And she is a reincarnation of a dead person.
I don't know if it counts really, because if she's a reincarnation, but 𝐾𝐞𝐭 is still, you know, kicking, so...
She's not actually. She's dead. She died before, 50 years before Kagome shows up.
She's very dead, and yet somehow she's still out there.
Because they stole part of Kagome's soul.
Fucking trees.
Nah. Okay, so spoiler alert, everybody. All right. So I didn't fully know the story of INUYASHA because I was a kid, and they didn't.
Anymore. If you don't know the story of INUYASHA, it's on your own fault. It's been out for like 20 years.
It's been out exactly 20 years almost.
All right.
Yeah, like 19 actually. But yeah, pretty much it's going on 20 real soon. Long story short, okay, because a lot of us watched INUYASHA on TV and they didn't play those in order. Show makes a lot more sense in order, okay? Just saying.
You're very right.
Yeah. So I've been I'm like 120, 30 episodes in right now. Found out I only thought there was 160 something. No, there's like 300-400. So yeah, and I'm including I'm watching the movies too.
You really
yeah, well, it's because there's a
continuation. You like started watching the YouTube on at one point.
Yeah, well, there's the continuation with their kids. So, anyways, that's what I'm counting as well.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, that's part. They're considered season 3 and 4.
That doesn't count.
Yeah, because INUYASHA's though. Anyways, okay. So, long story short, the story is, Kagome, random schoolgirl, doing her thing. She ends up going near a well that her family has been like protecting, blah blah, with a sacred tree that's nearby, right? And I almost think that if you were to go underneath that tree, you would find INUYASHA's bones. Oh my god.
Yeah, that
was
Oh my
never, god. If she never went through that well, INUYASHA would have been under that tree.
It was never really confirmed nor denied on that one, so we're taken into the account that we're not sure.
Well, he wouldn't be there now because she changed the past because it's butterfly effect, right? Like because they find a mask that has a 𝐂𝐿 jewel shard in it, in her timeline, which means that she had to have gone back and broken the 𝐂𝐿 jewel, right? So, yeah. So because like it's in her house or whatever, so it wouldn't have been there otherwise, right? Because the jewel was full until she went there and they ripped it out of her body. Yeah, so it's butterfly effect. That's that type of time travel. I love time travel, by the way. So, anyways, she ends up going near the well, and then a demon is like, I can sense the secret jewel in your belly, and then it bit her in the kidney and it yanked that bitch out, all right, and pulled her through. And this thing gets a full fucking 𝐂𝐿 jewel, all right. It don't get a shard, it get the whole damn thing, all right. The strongest fucking thing, boosted power up ever, and it's just, I guess, a really fucking weak demon because that bitch got beat up by INUYASHA who didn't even have a sword, okay? And he was like, no problem. And then like a bird, it ends up eating it, like a demon crow, right? And then it becomes this big monster, and she shoots it with an arrow, and then the 𝐂𝐿 jewel gets hit, it explodes the fuck up, all right? 𝐂𝐿 jewel shards everywhere, right? That thing was able to get beat by one magical girl arrow, all right? Anyways, so 50 years prior to her going back in time to that spot, right? So not 50 years from her timeline, but from that timeline, all right? So technically 550 years from present day back, all right? INUYASHA and 𝐂𝐿 both get, as an ad, as I'm explaining the lore of INUYASHA. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh no. Oh my god.
That
all right, I'll just read shit. I'll tell you after. I'll tell after that.
Real quick.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, everybody, go. Grab a glass of water. Maybe use the washroom if you need to. Grab a snack.
Grab your glasses.
Take a quick shit if you can. Do a stretch. Cuck. I didn't get cucked.
Bro, if you can if you can get a poop in the time that you need to during the ad, that's impressive.
Hey, okay, it's 3.5 minutes. All right, so if you drop your drawers on the walk there. No shit, Sherlock. It gives me an hour of no pre-rolls.
Jesus.
That's why I give people 3 minutes.
That's a lie, by the way. Most definitely came in here and got pre-rolls.
Okay, but that's because, like, I guess the 3-minute one didn't play at the beginning. Why don't I have music playing? What happened to my music?
Because Twitch is shit. Why?
Why did my music stop? That was weird.
Music said
okay,
no.
Then.
You must talk about INUYASHA.
Hey, I will talk about INUYASHA.
Shasha Yunya.
Alright, but we'll talk about that after the ad break. Let me just catch up with chat real quick. Starline calls an isekai sometimes. They're out of order, but they're right. But the isekai now girl has ability to teleport back and forth. Saving 80,000 gold in another world for my retirement as an isekai. People complain about how bad the new INUYASHA stuff is, and I was like, have you watched the old shows? They're boring. Hey, yeah. I don't find it boring.
Yeah,
I can definitely, I can see the issue with it though.
You can break the system. She could have broken the system at any time. All she got to do,
bring a
find
Glock.
some gold, bury that shit. Until the new age, go back and dig it fuck back up, and all of a sudden,
we're thinking of different ways to break the system.
I have a whole ass bar of gold.
And
Wow.
you're like, bring a Glock.
Go back
Okay,
in
well,
time.
it would be more
Yeah, go
effective
back
in the
in
bone
time,
arrow.
bring in a fucking Glock, be like, hey, yo, demons, it's me,
You're just
your
thinking about
boy.
how to be rich in the future, right? I'm sitting
I'm
here thinking about how she
like,
could
having to be
survive
rich in the future
demons.
and how to fuck up shit in the
Yeah,
past.
yeah.
You just walk back with a Glock and just like, yo, click clack.
Hey, yo, Naraku, you bitch ass! Pop, pop! You know,
Hey,
like.
Raku, put two in the chest.
Well,
Take it.
she used an arrow and it took away half of his body.
Wister, what is the flower or whatever or not? That's like he's really bad against. Like demons are bad against or some shit like that.
What?
Aren't like demons like weak against some bullshit?
Sacred arrows, yeah.
Yeah,
And, like,
sacred arrows.
priests
Yeah,
and
you know
shit
what? You
and
crack
sacred
open a sacred
energies.
arrow, you put that shit into a 45 slug.
Crack open a sacred arrow. It's just an arrow shot by a priestess.
Yeah,
I
you're
guarantee
right.
a bullet gonna work the
you
same.
Can break it,
It's a
you can
projectile coming from a bitch.
Chip away into it, and you can crack it into a 45 slug, and you put that right into Naraku's
What is the point?
chest.
There's nothing saying like she can use a stick to fire shit too, right?
Oh,
she
fuck it,
used
use a
she used a.
shotgun.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
fuck?
Projectiles
The fuck?
shot by a fucking priestess. That's all.
I have blessed this 45 to blast this motherfucker to hell.
Yeah, man. And like just for extra measure, we're just gonna bring a whole ass fucking bazooka and we're gonna put some like monk fucking seals on it so that it does extra damage, right? You just
Hell yeah.
did a mini nuke on the bitch.
That's
Right,
how it's
we're
really.
almost
That's how
done
you
the ad
really
break.
take over the past. You just come back with guns. They're like, what is this? It's just like it's an arrow but on crack.
This is okay. So you see those flint strike rifles you have? Okay, yes. Watch
That's
this.
cute.
Like, get fucked.
whips out a freaking whips out the 12 gauge. You know what? Yeah, we're just gonna say fuck it today.
Yeah,
got
honestly
the
though. All
slugs
right.
here.
So let me get back to the story now that we are back off our ad break. Okay. So, all right. Naraku betrays, or doesn't betray. He is actually another dude but that dude was evil and didn't have control of his body, so he let demons eat his body and he became Naraku. Naraku isn't actually that guy. That guy's name is like Onigiri or some shit. All right, but he's not actually that guy, but he's like part that guy, which makes Naraku actually a half demon, not a full demon, even though he is made of like, I think it's like 300 full demons, right? He's still a half demon.
Bitch.
What? Half demons have proven to be stronger than normal demons in this, okay? So anyways.
Half demon, half bitch.
Yeah.
I said what I said.
Okay, whatever. Anyways. So he is able to transform into other people and shit like that. So he transforms into Inuyasha and attacks Kikyo. And then he also transforms into Kikyo and attacks Inuyasha, right? So then Inuyasha's like, you betrayed me, bitch. I was gonna become a human for you. I'm gonna steal the sacred jewel now, right? And so he goes to get the secret jewel. And the reason that Naraku didn't just steal the sacred jewel is because it wasn't corrupted yet. Because the priestess wasn't corrupted, right? And she was like the one purifying it. Well, now she feels like she's been betrayed, so it's been kind of broken and it's not as good anymore. So Inuyasha's like, fuck this shit, I'm stealing it, all right? So he goes to steal it, and then she's like, she shoots him because she's like bleeding out from Inuyasha attacking her, but it was actually Naraku disguised as Inuyasha. So now when he dies, she takes he gets stuck to a tree because she couldn't actually bring herself to kill him, but she was angry at him, right? So she wanted him to die, but she couldn't do it, right? But she ends up bleeding out because she was cut really bad and she's just a person. So she is like, when I die, take the jewel and put it with me when I die, so when I get burned and it is gone. And they're like, okay. And then literally 50 years later, Kagome comes back and she's like, what up, bitch? I brought it back. All right. So, because it disappeared with her soul or with her body or whatever. All right. So anyways, you know, long story short, Kikyo gets remade by some weird witch bitch. All right. And this witch bitch is just like, I made the creation of earth, it's grave soil and bones, and that's what she's made out of. Now I just need her soul, right? Why is her soul not in there? Why is she just a husk? Why is it not working? Oh no, she must have been reincarnated. Well, let's go and find who the reincarnation is. Fun fact, a little fan theory. It wasn't actually Kagome's soul that was the first reincarnation. Kagome is actually the reincarnation of Rin. All right, fan theory, not a full one, but you know, it makes a lot of sense when you think more about it. But anyways, so her soul was already grabbed, but then she's like, oh look, this bitch right here, she literally has the same powers that Kikyo had and looks just like fucking Kikyo. Bullshit, they actually don't look anything alike. Because, oh no, their hair is completely different. Oh, they don't even have the same eye shape. What do you mean? All right, but like anyways, anime. So they just both have long black hair. That's about it. So does Sango. When she has makeup, that's how you can tell she's different. Right, so anyways, it's like, all right, cool. She gets like 95% of her soul back. Right? And she's like, oh, and then Gome's like, oh, I'm gonna die. Right? And then they're like, oh no, we gotta put that shit back. So then Kagome's got 95% of the soul, and then Kikyo's got the 5% of like, I fucking hate you, and I'm angsty. But then she's like slowly growing as a person again. And then by this point in the anime where I am, she's like, I'm pretty chill about most things. And then she ends up meeting Kagome, and she's like, don't you censor my ass, Bio, I'll kick your butt. All right, so anyways, she wow, look at Vaughn censored. He's just a little like 8-bit so yeah. So anyways, then they're like, all right, cool. She's doing good, or she ends up meeting Kagome like as a one-on-one kind of thing, not just like, oh no, you're in the way of me getting to Inuyasha. She's like, I'm literally fucking dying. And Kagome's like, I'll help you, even though you're my boyfriend's ex-girlfriend, but not actually, because he's not actually my boyfriend. Well, it's because she was trapped in a she was trapped inside of a demon that eats priestesses, and her soul or demons, like her soul collectors, which are a type of demon that goes and collect lost souls and bring them to her so she can stay alive because she's not of this world. She needs souls, right? In
the logical form, she would have been like, man, that's wild. Thoughts and prayers. And then she would just watch her. Kagome she passed away.
You gotta remember, Kagome was raised at a shrine, right? And was always taught to help people, okay? And she's 15 years old. So she's doing what she's been taught.
She hasn't suffered
and
the
she
reality
constantly,
of the world.
no, she constantly goes through. What the fuck you mean? She gets beat up by demons on the daily. What do you? She suffered more than any of us. She has been eaten multiple times. All right, she's been cut open in episode 1. Where like, I'm gonna eat your fucking like uterus just to get this fucking orb out. All right, like no, she suffered way more than you or I. Like I could have both my nuts yanked off, and I haven't had as bad as her. Okay, like this bitch deals with traumatic events on the daily. All right, little alone being around Morocco most of the time. Okay.
Fucking equal.
You know what? I don't need them, but you know what? I like them. They move like a lava lamp.
They move like a lava lamp. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Every guy is sitting here like, what do you fucking mean your testicles move like a lava lamp? Just sit back. Just sit back. Reach your hand in your pants and just let it sit there for a moment and feel that it's moving like a fucking lava lamp. You just didn't know before. That shit always on the move. You know, like. If you didn't know that, now you do.
Down their pants for a while.
Someone's doing it right now too.
I guarantee you. I guarantee you someone is. You want to know why? Because I'm doing it.
Wait, is it really? Caught him. Found him. We found the one.
Why does my music keep turning off?
I don't know. Maybe your
weird.
music playback thing is crap.
I don't know. Spotify is just not liking me. Don't nut on me. All right. Anyways. So yes. Anyways. I don't really. Oh, where was I? Oh yeah. Okay. So, anyways, in the Inuyasha story, all right. So there's all this stuff about like corruption and this, that, whatever, and Kagome is clearly the main character. It might be called Inuyasha, but nothing happens without Kagome. I would argue she's the main character. So she has the magical powers, right? Inuyasha just has the powers he's always had. Like, yes, he has the 𝐁𝐈𝐤, but the 𝐁𝐈𝐤 is technically just his father's fang, all right? And it has those powers. So he can add powers to it, like when he learns the Wind Scar, which it was supposed to have anyways, because Sesshomaru was able to use that the first time he used it. And then he learns the Backlash Wave, which I guess is the Wind Scar, but takes the energy of the demon that you're fighting and it applies it to itself. Right, and that's the only way that Inuyasha was able to beat the demon that his father died to, right?
To be honest, like, that entire section there made no fucking sense.
What?
That whole part that you were just trying to say, that's like
the Backlash Wave,
the energy of the demons and all the good.
Okay, so the way
like,
the
beat the demon that beat his father.
Okay, so here I'll explain it a little bit. I don't know the last time that you watched Inuyasha. I had to. You know how I am. I researched shit
on Cartoon Network to give you an idea.
Yeah, we have this thing in Canada called YTV. All right, it is.
I'm sorry.
No, YTV was actually awesome. It had a lot of like the Cartoon Network stuff on it. Or did it have Cartoon Network? Yeah, it had Cartoon Network. And it's YTV.
I was in high school, I think, when I last watched Inuyasha.
Okay, so then you're probably mistaken a little bit about the part then, all right? Because I didn't remember it fully, right? And that was my favorite anime for the longest time. So anyways, yeah, YTV, we had this thing called Bionics at nighttime on Fridays, and that was when we watched anime. But YTV is just a cartoon channel, right? We didn't have like Cartoon Network, but Cartoon Network was on there, right?
Ours was just, what was it? Anime After Midnight, something like that?
Yeah, that's what you guys had. Ours was called Bionics. And that's how they said it. Bionics! All the fucking time. It was actually kind of cool. That was like how I learned how to watch, like, that's where I learned like Naruto and stuff too. And like Eureka 7 Gundam Seed. Yeah.
Animondays, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so, what the fuck was I talking about? Oh, the backlash wave. Okay, so, the wind scar, the way that it works is you have to have your demonic energy and the other demonic energy, and where they're touching, there is a scar between those auras, and that's where the energy all comes from using this fang. All right, so the backlash wave is to take that same scar and then ripple it onto their aura, so their own aura attacks them. That's why he was able to do it.
So by default, shouldn't this be able to defeat every demon, because it's you're hitting them with their own energy plus your energy? Shouldn't that defeat everything?
Yes, it does. But anytime that he's able to land the backlash wave, okay, so they're able to turn off their demonic aura, right? So they're able to, like, it's pretty much like a wind that comes around them that's invisible, right? Or at least that's how it's visualized. So you're able to remove your aura or hide your aura, and as such, it won't hit you, because now there's a gap and you're able to jump away. So like, say that you're like blowing, you're using like a fan, right? Behind the fan, there's the suction, right? But right in the middle of the fan, right, where the propeller is like round, right, and there's the blades around it, there's no wind in that exact spot. That's why the blades are curved, so they go towards that spot, right? But in that exact spot, there's no wind. You're that exact spot. So if you were to stop letting that aura come out, there's a gap around you now, because it needs to continue coming out, right? Your aura will disappear if you weren't to, you know, blow that fan, right? So they're able to let go of their aura and then jump away. That's how people are able to dodge the backlash wave. But it's super uncommon to dodge it because it moves super fucking quick, right? Only certain people are able to do it, or if they have like magical hacks, like the one girl that has a mirror, right? And her magic mirror just absorbs any aura that comes at it, right? So
the magic mirror and then fuck everything.
But yeah, so the backlash wave literally uses an opponent's own energy against them. Yeah, and then he ends up getting the red Tetsaiga, which is just an infused version of it that allows it to break barriers from the person that was able to make the strongest barrier in existence, which is the bat demons. So yeah.
But anyways, the bat demon in face down defense position, and in your turn.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, but like it's more of an attack position because he uses it to attack barriers, because the sword is infused with the ability to use those barriers. Yeah. So anyways, where were we originally going with all this? Yes. Oh, yes, isekai shit and whatnot. So because it's a mahou shoujo, in my opinion, all right, because she goes there, she gets her magical powers, right? It's butterfly effect time theory, right? That means that also because it's an isekai, it's a mahou shoujo, nothing happens in the story if Kagome is not involved, right? That makes her the main character, even though it's called Inuyasha. All right. Now, okay. Would you consider it a shonen anime if the main character is female, one of the major supporting cast characters is female, all right, and that person's partner, right, and not like romantic partner, but their partner, who is also a demon, is also female? So 3 of the main leads, Kagome, Sango, and Kilala, right, or Kirara, however you want to pronounce it, are all female. But then you got Inuyasha, Shippo, and Moroku that are all male. That's your main team, all right? So if half the cast is female, and they're the main ones.
I feel like you're overdoing this one. The shonen anime is not going to have a whole lot of emotional tie-ins to it whatsoever. Inuyasha has a lot of emotional style tie-ins to it.
Have you watched Naruto? That's a show. That is literally the cover child of shonen. And do you know how many times I've seen that fucking swing, like dun dun?
That's not emotional. That is just bullshit ass fucking flashbacks. Good God, like this is just flashbacks
my heart
to
fucking
push
hurts.
the fucking story along. That's
I'm
not like
a swing
emotional. Jesus Christ.
with more screen time than 10-10.
That fucking swing has more screen time than most of your like.
No, only 10-10. Only 10-10.
Holy shit.
Only 10-10.
Yeah, literally only 10-10. She is the only character that is like has a name that has gotten less screen time than that swing.
That is sad.
Including Boruto. She has scenes in Boruto and she's still overshadowed by that fucking swing from Naruto.
Yeah, you know what? She should overshadow Boruto.
Oh god, fucking Boruto. Apparently it's getting better though.
No.
I haven't read it or watched it. I think that I keep up with it, but I don't actually read it myself. I think that the way that Sarada has developed the Mangekyo Sharingan is very neat because it proves that the cycle of hatred has been broken, right? It's just strong
think it's hilarious
emotion.
That somebody with a visual aspect has glasses. That's still funny to me.
Okay,
that's still hilarious to me. Has one of the most powerful visual.
You know what? She's still doing better than her dad. He's missing an eye.
In all of the TV show, can't fucking see without her glasses.
I can't see without
It's
my
like,
glasses.
how do you defeat her? You just fucking knock her glasses off, and all of a
What
sudden,
if it's just a facade?
her strongest visual ability, Amaterasu, or her Genjutsu, shit doesn't do anything because you can't see.
That is not at all how Amaterasu works, but yeah.
Amaterasu is based on vision. Yes, it is.
Only
is
Itachi's
100% based on the
only
vision of, like,
Itachi's.
where you
Sasuke's
place-
isn't.
What's up?
Itachi's is. Sasuke's isn't. Sasuke's can manifest behind him. It doesn't rely on vision. Every single Mangekyo Sharingan ability is separate from a different one, even if they have the same name. Yep, because it has to do with what that person was feeling at that time is what unlocks with that Mangekyo Sharingan. And that's why Shisui had the ability to change people's minds because he knew that the coup was happening and he wanted to change people's minds. And he was also like 13 years old at the time, and he had a very naive way of being able to stop the coup, which was change the mind of the person in control. Because that's why it allowed him to do that. It only works on one person. Yep. Because he was very naive. But it's how the Mangekyo Sharingan, we'll just say MS abilities work. Oh my god, I'm so fucking far behind on chat. Holy fuck.
Pay attention to your chat, my god.
And we were talking about
Mannequin has been trying. Mannequin and Yumish have been trying to say things for the longest. No.
They can talk. They're friends. All right. Was a game you could fight in past wars and bring modern weapons. It sucked. I mean, fair, but like, could you imagine that bitch just rocked up with a fucking AK? She's like, all right.
I'm
Here's
just
how this is gonna work.
Like about the whole Naruto took Sasuke's eyes. If Kakashi wouldn't have stepped in, Naruto would have ended Sasuke in the first fucking season.
Oh my god, right? It's been a week. It has been, brother.
Damage of the Rasengan at the fucking start. Just like there would have been no Sasuke.
That's because Chidori is literally a Rasengan with lightning energy added to it, but it's incomplete because it isn't swirling the energy. Because that's literally all the Chidori is.
It's just a point attack. That's what fucking Chidori is. Chidori is like a point
Chidori is
attack.
Literally Kakashi made the Chidori trying to emulate Minato's Rasengan, but adding his electric or his thunder key to it.
The issue with it is a very fucking a point hold attack almost. It's not because the same kind of damage output of a fucking Rasengan.
Well, not that version. That's technically only the lightning blade, the Chidori. You know, like there's the lightning wolf blade. There's a whole bunch of other shit. There's the what is it called? Ryujin fucking drop down dragon thing. Like all of those are not point blank. And like there's also a lightning clone, which is technically the lightning blade.
Right.
So like there's a whole lot.
Raikiri is not. What is it? Raikiri is not.
Yeah,
Chidori?
Raikiri. That's the name. It technically is. It's
How
literally.
Is that technically
Google it. It's a variation.
Jesus Christ.
It goes to his hand. It goes to his hand, and that's how he uses it, man. That's literally Naruto is very finicky when it comes to shit.
All of the kunai and stuff. So
okay, yeah.
Does that mean Shadow Clone Kunai is also a form of it?
I don't think using tools counts as a chakra thing unless you're summoning them from a scroll like 1010. But again, Swing has more screen time. So also she runs a weapon shop in the peace times. Worthless. I'm sorry, 1010. Anyways, let's catch up with shit.
Let me catch up with respect that she deserves.
All right, she's a dumbass. All right, I'm gonna use weapons coming from scrolls when I fight someone that uses fucking wind chakra. All right, like she'll blow my shit away. weapons don't work against wind chakra. Now, don't get me wrong, Tenten is a fucking genius when it comes to using weapons, because like she got like legendary god tier weapons that no one else could use, and she picked it up and went, I know how this will work, and then wasted all of her chakra in 2 swings. However, she's the only person to use them that didn't have what are they called? Tail beast. Did you know they made another one of those? Yeah, Jinchuriki chakra.
She wasn't a Jinchuriki.
Yeah. Whereas the other dudes, they were pseudo Jinchurikis because they ate the insides of Kurama when he ate them. So anyways, hi Trash, how you been? But I've been alive. I still got $30 or just under $30 I need to be able to pay my bills, but we are Gucci. We're doing our best. You'll buy a Ghost Cat lol full counter. I still laugh that they aired censored hentai on They're what?
I'm sorry, what?
I liked Adamantium Tetsaiga. I'm not at that point. I've only got the red one.
Where's this comment?
I like Zelda games. Me too.
One.
It's classified as shonen isekai. Dragon Ball has more emotion in it than Naruto. I love Dragon Ball. I will have to dispute that.
Massively doubt. Yeah, bullshit.
No. Dragon Ball has a lot of emotion to it, believe it or not.
Yeah, from Bulma and Chi-Chi.
Master Roshi dies, and they're like, ah! And then there's like this super sad scene and everything, okay? And then like Goku gives him God Ki to bring him back to life, okay? Because he's technically a part God now, all right? So that's how he comes back to life, all right? That hurt my heart. There's a whole lot of emotion in this, right?
Dragon Ball's emotion is like 90% rage.
No, not even. You haven't watched Dragon Ball. You haven't watched Dragon Ball.
I have seen every fucking episode of Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, Dragon Ball GT, and Dragon Ball Super. The fuck you mean?
Sounds like you need to rewatch it with another set of eyes, because like, for example, the entire teaching of the Turtle Hermit School.
Having a one single fucking episode where everyone's sad doesn't negate the entirety of the other, like everything else.
The entire Android saga.
The entire Android saga is
the entire Android saga.
I mean,
it has a lot of emotion.
Gut-wrenching saga.
It has to do with Vegeta literally feeling inferior to those that have always been beneath him, so he is struggling with depression and overcomes it with pure rage because that's all he knows, all right? Trunks' entire fucking world is destroyed. The only person he cared about, other than his mother, died in front of him, and he literally starts crying so hard that he literally unlocked, because emotional destruction is what causes the Super Saiyan transformation initially, right? That hurt him so much that he burst into tears and became a Super Saiyan, all right? He goes all the way back to the past. Goku has a heart problem, of which literally leads to everyone worrying about him, thinking that they're all gonna die now, only to be saved by Vegeta trying to be cocky. Yeah, sure, right? But then they've also got the androids, and the androids are super fucking aggressive, but then you start realizing that they're just people that were fucking abducted, and they're just super fucking like, I don't want to do what this guy says, but he's literally ruining our entire lives. But then the people will just want to beat us up for the sake of beating us up. So now we have to deal with that. You know how fucking stressful that shit is? And then when fucking Piccolo needs to make an emotional bond with Kami where they realize we are supposed to be enemies, but we need to come together. That is literally bridging a gap between hatred in order to become like good, like communicable partners, and literally they realize that Piccolo is going to be in charge of it, but it just makes sense. And Mr. Popo is devastated that happens, okay, because Kami was his only friend, all right, and now he's gone forever, all right. Then you go from that point, and then you see literally like 17 and 18 are trying to like fight in order to like, you know, stay the fuck away from the fucking or from the Saiyans and everything, because everyone's trying to fight them, but they don't even really care, right? Their whole prerogative is to kill Son Goku, but they want to just relax for a little bit, all right? So rage? No, literally it's not rage. That is not at all rage. Gohan didn't unlock it through rage. Trunks didn't unlock it through rage. Literally only the 2 pure-blooded Saiyans are the only ones that unlocked it through rage. Every single other person did not unlock it through rage. Not even, Future Trunks is the one that got it through depression. Normal, like modern, like timeline Trunks and Goten have it inertly, all right? So they didn't unlock it through rage, okay? So, but that's the Buu saga, all right? So then you go all the way over to like, why did my music keep fucking pausing? So I don't know why it's doing that.
Listening.
Yeah. So you know, you got like the whole, like, they don't want to fight them, but then literally 18 is terrified and scared because 17 just got eaten by a giant bunk that didn't even fucking know was there, right? Krillin, being like the emotionally fucking like stable person that is around, he decides, you know what, she doesn't deserve to die. I'm not gonna blow her up, I'm gonna break this thing. And then she ends up like being like, oh, okay, so there's an emotional connection right there. She's like, he actually cared about me. He doesn't want me to just die, right? Even though that would save everyone, he doesn't want me to die. So there's an emotional connection right there, right? It's not just all anger, right? Everyone's like, oh, it's just 5 minutes of screaming and pooping. And it's like, no, man, there's a whole lot. And then going and seeing Gohan.
14 hours of screaming and pooping.
Okay, anyways, but then everyone's just like, oh, but then there's like the cell games and everything, and like Goku ends up literally giving his life to save everyone. Gohan feels super defeated. Then he gets like this, like, I'm not good enough because his dad is gone, and Cell came back even stronger because now he's got Super Saiyan 2, right? Because you can tell he's got Super Saiyan 2 level of strength because he's got lightning going around him. That's how you can tell Super Saiyan 2. That's what Super Perfect Cell comes back, even though he was only semi-perfect when he died. He came back absorbing Goku when he blew up, plus King Kai. All right, so now he's at Super Saiyan 2 level. And now we got a broken Super Saiyan 2 who is already damaged, right? Vegeta literally gets very, because his whole thing is I'm aggressive at this point because, you know, he's a warrior, right? Watches his son die in front of him and gets so angry that he nearly kills himself, right? And Gohan saves him, and that's why he's missing an arm now. Or sorry, has a messed up arm. And then like there's the emotional connection with his father that allows him to overcome that thing, plus with the distraction from Vegeta still being pissed off and hitting Cell in the back. All of the Z fighters realizing that they're going to die, right? They're all attacking him at the same time. Right? There's a whole lot to this. All right? It's not just super aggressive. It's literally like we need to not die. There's people that deal with depression in the fucking series. Like if you go all the way up to Dragon Ball Super and you go to like Goku Black Arc, literally everyone there has depression, right? And like Trunks is like, he's got PTSD when he sees Goku for the first time. It's not just aggressive. It's trauma. There's a whole lot. There's depression. Why does my music keep fucking pausing? I'm gonna close Spotify and reopen this bitch because it's being rude to me. All right. So yeah, I think you need to rewatch it with another set of eyes. You have to look at it from a different perspective rather than just caring about the fights, especially a lot of the downtime in it. And if you only watch Dragon Ball Z Kai, that would be why you feel that way. Because Kai gets rid of so much of the character development in the series.
Well, the best parts of the Dragon Ball series were not the fights, because the fights to me were always drawn out and boring.
Depends on the fight. But yeah, a lot of them.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Most of the fights were just
now
drawn out and boring.
To catch up with chat, because I'm like 20 minutes behind. 1010 just a number of times she shows up. Oh god, that's facts. Sarada is doing better than Sasuke. She's still alive. Ooh, Sasuke is still alive in the manga right now. Unless the time skip happened and I haven't read that yet. Or I don't read it, I have someone else read it. Slapping glasses is taboo to ninjas. Yeah. And Naruto just took Sasuke's eyes. That would be pretty neat. There's actually, if you watch the Amagi on YouTube, I think they made an entire video on that. It's actually really well done. Sup dude, it's been a week, eh? It has been. I'm doing okay. So an electric sword, bat bites the power cable attack. Wait, cat bites? Oh, okay then. I was trash today. I'm doing okay, man. They're saying Shuriken clone jutsu is a transformation jutsu, not a melee jutsu. Okay. I mean, if you think about it though, going back to the Rasengan thing and the Chidori, the way that Boruto makes his Rasengan, how it becomes invisible and everything, right? That's what Kakashi was trying to do when he first made the Chidori. Because it is infused with lightning chakra. All right, nice. Yep, I'm good myself. Just treating a wasp sting before I hop on VR. Bastard wasp got me in the hair and stuff. Oh, oof! I'm sorry to hear that, man. That sucks. Dragon Ball is mostly rage. Nope. OG Tenchimuyo is softcore hentai. Look at the MS Paint bathing suits in the episode. Okay. How did they all unlock Super Saiyan? Rage. How did Gohan destroy Cell? Rage. It was not with rage. It was you know, with the help from his father and being pushed forward by those that care about him and trying to defend others. It was not rage. Goku and Vegeta get their Ultra Instinct ego
to the restroom. I'll be right back.
Okay. Goku does not get Ultra Instinct from rage. He unlocks Ultra Instinct from Survival Instinct because originally when he was put inside the Spirit Ball, it was going to kill him. He's too stubborn to die. Then he unlocked Perfected Ultra Instinct because he's going to lose, so he ends up jumping a busting out. It was not through rage. The only time that you see him use rage while in Ultra Instinct is when Jiren tries to blow up the stands and Goku blocks it, and then he looks like he's the villain in that scene because he gets so mad, right? But that's understandable. Anyone would get angry if someone tried to kill your family and friends. All right. Ultra Ego does not come with rage at all. It comes with pleasure. No rage whatsoever. You enjoy getting hit because it makes you stronger. It goes into Saiyan biology. How did Gohan get beast mode and Piccolo get orange mode? Yeah. Well, Piccolo didn't get orange mode from rage. Not at all. He got that as Dragon Awakening. It should have been called Dragon Awakening, not orange. Because that's a transformation that Namekians have. Because we already know about the Super Namekian that made the Super Dragon Balls, and he would have had that mode. So that's all it is. Plus, he is originally the Nameless Namekian, and he did not have the same biochemistry as all the other Namekians. That's what made him special. And then that's probably why he got that bonus from Shenron. But the beast mode, that would come from rage, yes. But that's because he's literally only stacking Super Saiyan on top of his ultimate mode or mystic mode, whatever you want to call it. Because there's nothing saying that he couldn't go Super Saiyan. And you could tell if Gohan's in mystic mode or not based off of how his eyes are drawn, not his bang, right? And Super Saiyan and stuff like that. No, it's how his eyes. If his eyes have the black line all the way around them, he's in mystic mode. Unless they're the round eyes. If they're the sharp eyes and it's got the things around it, like completely around, then he's in mystic mode. Plus, if that were to be the case for like rage stuff, there's literally a mode called Super Saiyan Rage, which is a mixture of God Ki and normal. So Gohan got Super Saiyan 2 via pure rage. That was because someone that was innocent died before him and he could have saved them but didn't. So that made him go super aggressive, right? And literally the beast mode was supposed to emulate the entirety, like that entire movie was to emulate the Cell Saga for Gohan. Super Saiyan transformation is literally an emotional burst of rage. All of them are that. Then 3 is like shrugs, I'd squeeze your cheeks or some shit. Wait, what? No. It's not. The initial way of becoming Super Saiyan for pure Saiyans is through rage. After that, it depends on if you have S cells in you or not. So Goten and Trunks, they had S cells, so they were able to get it that way. Whereas the half Saiyans are able to get it through hard work or like any strong emotion, because they're half Saiyan, they have human emotion, which is stronger than Saiyan emotion, and that's why Trunks gets it, or future Trunks gets it from like depression and sadness, whereas Gohan gets it from hard work and training in the hyperbolic time chamber. And Goku got it when his best friend died. Vegeta got it through depression and then he being so pissed off at himself that he was able to do it. Super Saiyan is actually achieved by a small tingling feeling in your lower back right above where the tail would have been. That is explained in Dragon Ball Super when they are on planet Sadala and Kaba is teaching Kefla and Kale how to make it. So that is how Super Saiyan is made. It is not through rage. It has to do with controlling your ki and setting it in a certain spot in your back. That is now the retcon on how it works. So, but most people don't know that, and they learn it through trial and error or from an extreme power boost. And it's the lower part of your back is right where your central chi would be. If you were to look at chakras, when it comes to, I believe it's Taoist, or it might be Taoist chakra controls in real life. It could also be based off of Hindi, but I'm not entirely sure. Or not Hindi, sorry. Hindi's a language. You know what I'm trying to say. It has to do with the chakra placements in the body, because Dragon Ball is based off of a bunch of different cultures put together. It's originally Journey to the West. So it has to do with the chakra placements, and that's like the core chakra, which is where I believe hatred would be, or power, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't remember the entire scale, right? Off the top of my head, don't remember it. But I do know that is where that core chi would be, and they just place it to the back instead of the stomach. So, because rather than focusing on, teenage girls' stomachs in Dragon Ball, they decided that the lower back would have been a little bit more appropriate, because at least they're like not like, look at my belly button towards my groin. It's more of just like they go like where the tailbone ends, but not in the butt, like it's just appropriate, more visual. So they put it there instead. Okay, how did Goku get Super Saiyan 3 and 4 in GT? Uncontrollable Rage. Incorrect, 100% incorrect. He got Super Saiyan 3 in the other world while training with King Kai after he spent 7 years training after the death of Cell. and didn't want to be wished back to life because he is not able to get tired and does not require to eat or sleep in the other world. He was able to train for 7 years straight, and he was able to achieve Super Saiyan 3, but he could not retain it. In GT, when he ends up using it, his body was unable to control the full strength of Super Saiyan 3 for a long period of time because he needed to build his body back up. He ended up realizing that after doing so much fights and so much training that he was able to use Super Saiyan 3 only because he got mad. But that does not mean he unlocked it, he already had it. It's just he realized in that moment that his body could handle it. Super Saiyan 4 was not rage, it was actually from a calm mind. Super Saiyan 4 is unlocked when you are a great ape that has gone Super Saiyan via Blitz waves, whether it be from a machine or the moon, right? It is a Uzaru that has gone Super Saiyan and regains control of itself with a calm mind, because he gets Super Saiyan 4 when Pan gets in front of his face and starts talking to her grandpa and says that he's better than this, he can control himself, and that allowed him to calm down in his Uzaru state, of which transformed him into Super Saiyan 4. It is not from rage. Okay, let's answer some more of this. Have it inherently, you know, the woman wanted Smex in Super Saiyan mode. Probably, but like in Japan, blonde hair means that you're a delinquent, and every girl likes a bad boy, so makes sense. But it would have to do with S cells because they've unlocked the ability to go Super Saiyan already, and that is why Goten and Trunks do not have tails, because they were born without them, because they already had a stronger transformation than Uzaru. They had Super Saiyan, so their like Goku and Vegeta's cells had adapted to that, and because Saiyans are super incredible, like adaptive warriors, their body adapted to that, they stopped regrowing their tails because they did not need it. And that's why when Goku becomes a kid again in GT, he ends up getting his tail back because his body's reverted. And then when they cut it off or whatever, they end up putting it back on as well and shit. And they're able to have their tail pulled back out with a giant pair of tongs if you go to Kami's Lookout. Weird shit because Dragon Ball was a fun little time. Right? It's not supposed to take itself serious all the time. But the Uzaru state is like the strongest for a natural Saiyan that hasn't gone through the ability to transform into Super Saiyan. So once they're able to go Super Saiyan, their children will not be able to become Uzaru because they will not have tails, because their body already has the ability to have S cells. Okay, you're killing me over here. The only true emotion, emotional growth in the entire series was Vegeta finally admitting Goku was better and then unaliving himself to kill Fat Boo. I have already explained that there's significantly more than that with emotional growth, such as Piccolo coming to terms with himself, literally. Like, let's just go to the original Dragon Ball. Emotional growth. Yamcha, the first ever enemy that you meet in the entire series, all right? That is in episode 5. Episode 5? Yes, season 1, episode 5. Or chapter 7 of the manga. All right. First person to use a special attack, by the way. He is an enemy. He was really scared of women. By the end of the entirety of Dragon Ball, that motherfucker is now, you know, in a committed relationship with Bulma, loves her, isn't scared of women. He has grown to become a hero, not a villain. All right, let's take another step. Maybe Ten Shinhan. Evil motherfucker, breaks Yamcha's leg, all right? Doesn't give a fuck about anybody, right? Total douche canoe, all right? This motherfucker decides, you know what, I'm gonna end up helping these guys because now we have demons literally attacking us, and they just killed that guy's friend, and that guy's friend was actually pretty tough. Not as strong as me, but pretty fucking tough, all right? So then they end up, like, you know, realizing, hey, our school is actually really bad people, and he ends up having a bit of emotional growth, and he ends up going for the turtle school, and he ends up learning from Master Roshi again, all right? So that's just the original Dragon Ball. That are the two examples, two main characters right there, okay? So I know I'm not quite caught up with that, but I see that someone says GT isn't canon. Yes, it is. I'll explain that once I get to that. So there is a lot of emotional growth, right? Whether it be, you know, Goku learning to fall in love with Chi-Chi because at first he was too stupid to fully understand it, and then he started grasping, and now he will literally go into a berserker mode when he finds out that Goku Black killed his family. Yeah, the guy that didn't even know what like marriage was when he first met her has such a strong connection with her that he is willing to literally go through an extreme power boost through like aggressive rage. Now, yes, rage, an emotion, but that's what Saiyans are literally known for. You can't get mad at them for doing that. And you would be angry too if your entire family died. Okay. So, though Vegeta admitting Goku is better than him and unaliving himself for Fat Boo, that is a very good example of good emotional growth in it, but there is a shit ton more than that, right? There's a shit ton more. How emotional was Vegeta actually understanding that their pride and ego has doomed the entirety of everything by allowing Cell to become perfect? He did recognize that that was a problem, but he also acknowledges that later on in the series, that his pride is actually a very helpful thing if he uses it correctly. He should have took more pride in certain things, and not just his Saiyan pride, but his pride as being as a husband, and he learns that later on. Tenchi Muyo is a Cartoon Network. You forget the time Vegeta kills himself in the Buu Saga. Yeah, that show is straight up porn. Super Saiyan to attain his rage. It is the reactionary flat of it. Future Trunks may have been depressed, but the rage of Gohan dying and him being able to fuck all because Super Saiyan 1 transformation. Super Saiyan transformation is a baseline on rage. It is not. I literally just proved like so many times over. So Smacks is softcore, Ego, Mystic, UI. Don't run through it. Those are completely different things entirely. Again, Ultra Ego is based off of pleasure, and it is a godly transformation, god of destruction. Mystic is not even remotely related to any form of Saiyan transformation, because anyone can have Mystic form. You have to have a Grand Kai, unlock your full potential. And Ultra Instinct is a angel. It's not a transformation, it is a technique. Just like, actually, all three of those are techniques, not transformations. 16 died, lol, yes you did. Nothing of value was lost. Oof. Gohan had a tail. Gohan did have a tail until he went Super Saiyan. Goku did not have Super Saiyan when Gohan was born. His strongest transformation that he had at that time was Uzaru. That was before he even had Kaioken. So Gohan had a tail. The other half Saiyans though, like Goten and Trunks, from our current timeline, do not have tails because they were born with S cells. Because Vegeta had already gone Super Saiyan in that timeline prior. Because it is theorized that that timeline was a little bit different than the current one, where Vegeta had already gone. It's also theorized that Vegeta already had Super Saiyan when Goku or when Trunks showed up and he fought off Frieza, but it wasn't necessary. But he wouldn't have been able to fully use it. He wanted to actually perfect it. GT isn't even canon, so anything under GT doesn't count for anything more than being an OVA. 100% incorrect. GT is canon. Akira Toriyama has said that himself because he was one of the people that made damn near every design on that show. He helped with the direction of the entire show, and also has said that because there is multiverse theory in Dragon Ball, all of your fan stories are canon. Therefore making it that any timeline exists because it has multiverse theory. GT is canon, and nothing has ever been stated factually to say that it is not canon. We just went back in time for Super to go in that, I think it's either 7 or 11 time year gap between the last couple episodes of Z. That is what Super takes place in. GT is just a different timeline. Or it could be our timeline and we're just not there yet. Yeah, Gohan and Trunks had tails, but they had them permanently cut off by Piccolo. Not permanently, like they just didn't need it anymore. And I don't think Trunks ever had a tail. Trunks' tail was removed at birth, while Gohan did go Uzaru during the Saiyan saga. Okay, then if his was removed at birth, then that's fair. But he was able to obtain Super Saiyan because he was able to learn it through Goten more than likely, or just the fact that he was around Vegeta, and because Trunks has Bulma's analytical mind. Even though he acts very stupid, as a kid, his whole original plot was he was going to be like a smarter version of Vegeta, who was already a tactical genius. So he was able to figure out that like maybe he was able to sense where the key started first when Vegeta went Super Saiyan, and that's why he went Super Saiyan the first time. In the gravity chamber while he was training with Vegeta. Trunks' tail was removed. Pan had a tail too. Pan did not have a tail. Pan has never been drawn with a tail. Skipping genes. Yeah. No, Pan has never been drawn with a tail. Never once. Because Akira Toriyama completely forgot that Saiyans had tails, and that's why Goten and Trunks didn't have it. And in GT, none of the Saiyans have tails aside from Goku when he ends up going back to being a kid. And then when they use the Blutz waves to override Vegeta and give him his tail, or just that the Blutz waves themselves were necessary for him to become an Uzaru or something. Off the top of my head, I do not remember that exact arc. Yeah, you caught up. I did! It's because you guys slowed down a little bit. But yeah, Goku only gets his tail because he was a kid. And Vegeta, I believe it was just the Blutz waves that they used, but it's possible that they used like a wish to be able to give him it or whatever. I don't fully remember. Anyways, Baby has all three forms of like Super Saiyan. So, because there's normal Baby, and then there's like he has like 3 other transformations after that, of which makes him into Super Saiyan 3. The one that they fight is Super Saiyan 3, meaning that Vegeta could go Super Saiyan 3, but he wasn't able to retain it the same way that was necessary. And Super Saiyan 3 is a big waste type of transformation anyways, because of the amount of ki that you're letting out. It is significantly easier to use Super Saiyan Blue because it allows you to use the strength of Super Saiyan 3 without the drawbacks of it. Full sorry for you. Don't worry, I caught up though. And now you guys know all the things. I can refute anything about Dragon Ball, bro. I know so much about that bitch. Literally, I know so much. So much about Dragon Ball. That is my shit. Okay. Ooh, okay. Also, it was a minute ago. Sephi, thank you for the follow over on Kick. I am sorry that your chat will not be on screen. For some reason, Restream is cucking me, but I will be able to see your chat over on here. Oof. Did you guys like that giant spew of, oh god, more? Okay. S cells are the genetic marker that creates the possibility of Super Saiyan. To gain S cells, you have to experience true love for an extended period. What? The first 2 transformations, Super Saiyan, Super Saiyan, have a large amount of cells. Where are you grabbing this information? I kind of skipped over the Tenchi Muo because that's literally just softcore hentai. I don't know where you're getting that because that is 100% not true. That's from Akira Toriyama. Bullshit. Akira Toriyama is not even the one that came up with S cells. He just agreed that it sounded like a good theory, so that's canon. That's literally says, that sounds cool. Let's go with that. That's pretty much pretty much what he said. Ain't no way that's what he said. He's literally just saying, that's what the true love thing is, you know, he's just saying that people fucked, right? He's just saying people fucked and that a baby was made and that baby has them. But nah, man, no sorry. So Vaughn, did you like it? That's so stream so fast, pretty good time.
Everybody likes a bad boy. Rawr.
Oof.
I beat myself.
Now your buddy wanted to know the name of it that Cartoon Network aired? Yeah. Oof. Okay. I can't believe how long that took me to catch up with all that. But I was able to like spew out all the information though. Do you think I'd be good at those YouTube videos for the amount of fucking shit I know?
You've got a lot in your head.
Yeah, that's just Dragon Ball. That's not even getting into Zelda related stuff. Akira Toriyama stated the S cells at Comic-Con Tokyo when Super first aired. Okay, but yes, the original statement was a theory that was proposed back when Dragon Ball Z was still running. I know because my friends and I used to talk about it on the schoolyard when we played with our fucking action figures, because we were like, oh man, I saw S cells. It was in the comic that I read, because we used to have like those magazines. It wasn't the Shonen Jump one, it was like the fucking Dragon Ball whatever that was like at a local store, and we would read them. And a viewer sent in a message to Akira Toriyama and said to him like, oh, what about the theory of S cells? And they just gave like their own theory on what S cells were, and it gives like his response as well in the magazine. And he was like, I really like that. That sounds good. Or that sounds like a really good explanation as to why I didn't draw them rather than me just forgetting. Yeah, let's go with that. So it's now canon. Zelda, another story that the side character is the name of the show. Facts.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying, man. Inuyasha, remember we started there?
Yeah, that's where we began.
He's not the main character. He does a lot of the shit, but yeah. Oh my god, that was my voice is starting to hurt from that.
That was a rant.
No, that was just fucking sewage coming out of my mouth. That was me just spewing so much fucking information. Tired yet, Trash? No, I'm never tired. I'm always exhausted, but I'm never tired. But you know how it goes. Yep.
State of existence is exhaustion.
Yeah, exactly. And Vaughn's like, I literally just sat here for a half hour listening to all of that. I didn't even need to talk. That was great.
Yeah,
what a great feature. Tenchi was not the Myoc of Tenchi Muo. Well, wait, what? Main? Oh god. Well, now that we've talked about all that, Vaughn, do you have any questions about Dragon Ball, Inuyasha, Zelda, or Halo that you would like answered? Cause I got them.
Oh.
Halo, I'd be a little bit less knowledgeable about, but.
Which do you know more of, Zelda or Dragon Ball?
Yes.
That was a good answer.
I know both equally. The only thing that I don't know a lot about is Spirit Tracks, the Link Between... What's the one with the paintings? Link Between Worlds? Or is that the... You know which one I'm talking about. The one with the paintings for the 3DS.
I think that was a Link Between Worlds.
I think that's Link Between Worlds. Yeah, because the other one was Link to the Past. Yeah. And the Oracle games. Which is funny, I've actually got one of the Oracle games in 99% pristine condition. The only way that it is not in pristine condition is the fact that it was opened just to check to make sure everything was there upon initially buying it. But yeah, I have that. It's worth a few $100s. Gonna save that for a long time.
Yeah, in a couple of years it'll be worth a few $100 more.
Yeah, I'm gonna save it for like 10, 20. But yeah, I've got the red one. I think that's Seasons? I think Ages is the blue one. I don't know. But those are the games I don't know.
I used to have one of those ones. I don't remember which. That was a long time ago, though.
The story in them's dumb, though. That's why I didn't really care for the lore. I was like, I don't even fucking want to. There's a kangaroo that punches shit. That sounds stupid. Right? I say as I fucking play Ocarina of Time and they have a giant talking owl. But, you know, whatever.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. But a kangaroo with boxing gloves, man. That's Banjo-Kazooie ass shit. Alright.
Yeah, name random Zelda thing.
Name random Zelda thing. I think that you guys are talking about a little inappropriate thing in chat, so just be careful with what you say, please. A random Legend of Zelda thing? Like, what do you mean by random Legend of Zelda thing? Like, do you want me to, like, Bob chose? Like, you know, like, what do you want? What do you want?
Oh, no, I was just referring to weird things in Zelda.
Oh, a weird thing in Zelda?
Yeah.
Well, let's use bomb shoes as an example. There's a joking theory that apparently bomb shoes are like the spirit of a mouse that is merged with a bomb.
Bomb shoes. Oh yeah, okay, I know.
Yep, that is. It's a stupid theory. Yeah. Yep, but it's a thing. People believe it.
You know what's funny is my mind doesn't think in English often. So when you said bomb shoes, that was one word for me. I mean, it is one word, but it was just one word for me. And now that I know it's bomb shoes, I'm like, oh yeah, I know what that is.
Did you know that the 𝐂𝐡𝐚 mask has two different inspirations? One of them being Pikachu for the Nintendo series Pokemon, and also based off of Japanese mythology of the Kitsune. Wow.
Really?
Yep. Because the 𝐂𝐡𝐚 has 3 tails instead of 9.
I often forget that Pokemon is actually that old.
Yep. Yep. It is 94? I think. Because Digimon was 95 or 96?
Yeah.
I don't know. Pokemon is a little bit older than Digimon, but Digimon did better for like a little while, and then they changed who their main cast was, and then Pokemon continued with the same cast, and it just blew it way up. Even though they were pretty much equal, Digimon used to do a little bit better in ratings, but it was also aimed at more of the angsty teenagers of the time, with also having their kid brother allowed to be there. That's why the whole TK and Matt thing was there, like the older brother and younger brother dynamic. So then people could relate to them because, well, fucking that dude has an insanely cool fucking wolf guy, all right? And then that guy, he the little brother, he's got the little pig thing that's really cute, but then it becomes like this really tough angel dude that's actually really powerful. Wow. And then everyone's like, but Aquaman become Greymon! Greymon become Metal Greymon! Metal Greymon become War Greymon! You know, like...
That was a good transition.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, Pokemon was for
High School DxD Lord Trashy Edition. I don't know anything about High School DxD. That's I actually haven't watched that. Alright. Link your YouTube shorts for Zelda stuff? Lol. Oh god. I mean, if you guys found any clips in that, you know, oh, bye Draco.
You know, one of these days someone is going to ask you to do a High School DxD lore thing, and you're going to be like, now I feel compelled to watch High School DxD.
Fuck that. Nah, I got too much other shit I'm watching right now. 11/11, make a wish, by the way. But yeah.
Oh, it's 11/11. Oh, I see.
Well, for you it's 9/11, but you know, that's a little bit different for you.
That hits differently.
Yeah. So make your wish, you got 30 seconds. Alright. But yeah, I like to tell a little bit of stories, like tell a little bit of information. Alright, John the Firecat's over there. Bro, you better follow over there. I see you over on Kick. You better follow. I see you. I remember seeing you on my other stuff. You better follow. I'm sorry it took me a minute to see that. Whew. I've been talking about a lot of anime stuff though. A lot of video game stuff. But yeah, what you got any other stuff you want me to talk about? Come on, Vaughn. Throw something at me. I got it. Keep it to the things I know, but you know.
Yeah, it's like, throw something at you. I've got so many things on my desk right now.
Yes, I am on Kick. Don't actually throw objects at me, you fool. I mean, like, ask questions. Zelda, Dragon Ball, fucking Halo, whatever. I got it. I'm pretty good at Inuyasha shit now too.
You know, I have always wondered about Zelda lore related stuff. Like, is there a timeline? Because it always seems like the game starts in a certain...
We're about to talk about time travel, Vaughn. Are you excited? Are you excited, Vaughn? We're about to talk about time travel. Is your head ready to hurt?
Oh, my head is always hurting. Bring it.
Oh, boy. Oh, we're going to have fun here. Okay. So, Vaughn, we start off with Skyward Sword. However, we might have a separate timeline that doesn't work with Skyward Sword. So, here's the thing. Tears of the Kingdom is gonna fuck with the lore big time because now there's Zonai involved, and the Zonai weren't part of any previous games aside from Breath of the Wild. And if they formed Hyrule, then what the fuck happened in Skyward Sword? That means it's a separate timeline, meaning that we got 4 or 5 branches now, not just 3. Not just 3, we have 4 or 5. This is gonna be great. Okay, so let's go with the initial one that everyone knows, all right? Because I don't know fuck all about Tears of the Kingdom quite yet, all right? I haven't been looking into it, all right? Because it's brand fucking new. All right, so Skyward Sword. There's a bunch of shit that happens in this, all right? Pretty much people live in the sky, all right? That's what Tears of the Kingdom, where they're going up to the sky again, all right? They pass the cloud barrier, all right? So they're all up in the sky, and they are Hylian, right? Everyone there is Hylian, because they all came from the goddess Hylia, all right? They all live in the sky. They are like, oh, they're Triforce. We protect the Hylia. And then the Demon King Demise shows up. And he's like, hey, I'm here to wreck shop because I'm from the demon realm. It's like, okay, so now we know there's at least 2 realms. We've got the Earth realm, and then we got the demon realm. All right, now the demon realm is not the dark world that is in A Link to the Past. It is also not Lorule from A Link Between Worlds. All right, it is a separate realm. Oh my God, there's more shit over there. I will catch up with that after I'm done talking about this timeline. Okay, so he shows up. There's a long story that ends up happening with some bullshit with the goddess sword and Faux Fum, whatever the fuck you want to call her. All right, she's a bitch. She's stupid. She's the reason everything happens and goes wrong. All right, that fucking little robot from Skyward Sword, if you didn't hate her enough already, she is the reason that ads, god damn it, every time I talk about lore, it's gonna blow the fuck up. All right, never mind, I'll tell you a little bit after.
Ads.
Yep, a little ad incoming. Enjoy your little all right, everybody, so there's an ad incoming. Everyone go do a stretch, grab yourself a glass of water, you know, maybe an energy drink, whatever you need, grab a snack. You know, use the wash if you need to, do some stretches, you know. Oh, okay. That is the plan, everybody. Get followed, nerd. Thanks, bye. But, yeah. Everyone go do your little things. We have an ad break right now because over on Twitch, we have every hour, 3 minutes of ads. As you can see up there, I put 3:30. That way, that make sure that, for sure, that we are done. Nothing important is going to happen right now. We will just have a chill conversation, not related to what we were talking about before. All right. Well, we'll try to. Maybe we'll talk about something. But yeah, just go use the washroom. You maybe do a stretch, drink some water, grab a snack, take a small shit if you need to. You know, crack your neck, do whatever you got to do. All right. You know, maybe clean your keyboard. You know, spam chat with emotes if you feel like it. You know, whatever. it's a time to not do anything, and Vaughn and I will just hang out for a minute. And for everyone that is subbed, you know, we can still talk, but we won't be talking about what is related to the content at the moment. My voice really fucking hurts. Oh my god.
You've been talking nonstop.
I have been, man. And I literally just woke up before I came on stream, by the way. That was the worst fucking phrasing. Before I went live, I just woken up.
Before you, came on
you know, yeah.
It's funny because when you said you were gonna take a nap, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna take a nap as well. And then I got an Amazon delivery, so I was like, never mind, I'm gonna spend the next hour putting things away.
Oh shit! What did you get, boy? He's like 27 dildos. Oh. What? I don't want to tell you.
No, actually,
they're not dildos. They're flashlights. Fuck off.
I got a bunch of Izzy's, some Cliff Bars. I can't eat half of them because they're too hard.
Oh man. Have you considered like are they like the chocolate covered ones or no?
No, they're normal Cliff Bars.
Okay, put them in the microwave with a cup of water, and microwave them for 15 seconds.
Good idea.
Yeah, you'll soften them. Just make sure it's a glass cup of water. Or plastic.
Yes.
Plastic might work too. But yeah, just a cup of water. Just don't use metal. Actually, a mug would probably work best. But it'll add like moisture into the thing, and then it'll make them a little bit softer. Plus, they'll be warm. I got a cough. Give me a moment to mute myself.
Metal mug. I'm gonna put the metal in my microwave and make a boom. No,
that actually won't make a boom. It will just melt your microwave and fuck it up.
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yep, would not be good for you. Oh, look at this man. He's opening up a soda or an energy drink. What is it?
It's an Izzy.
It's a what?
Sparkling mango.
A what?
It's like a soda, but not really.
It's sparkling water?
I mean, it's not actually sparkling water because sparkling water definitely tastes very different from this. It is a soda. It's just made with mango juice concentrate.
Is a healthy soda?
Yeah, it's a healthy soda.
Fuck your hell.
It's an Izzy.
Oh, God. So nasty as hell. No.
I mean, they're actually really good. They're sold in bars around here. I know this because I don't generally drink when I go out.
I microwave my tossed salads. I'm sorry, you what? Huh?
Yummish.
What the fuck? I'm very perplexed. Alright, so we're back from a little break. So, let's get to where we were. Unless you would like to carry on with your story about your strange drink.
No, that was it. I was done.
You're like, nah, man, that not much about it. Just found it at a bar, drank it, went not bad, and I kept drinking them. Yep.
Yeah, they're good. Yeah, I just hadn't stopped. I got a delivery of them.
So, as we've established, there's a separate realm where the demons lie. All right, that is not low rule, and it is also not the dark realm. All right, or shadow realm or whatever. All right. Now, if we want to take into account the Twilight Princesses, all right, there's also the Twilight realm. All right, which is an entirely other realm. All right, so there's realms in it. All right, so there's parallel universes, or the realms are all within the same universe. These are important aspects to pay attention to, because if they are separate universes, that means that they are separate timelines. Okay, but if they are the same universe, right, which just makes them only realms, all right, this gets a little bit confusing because some things are different realms, but they're also still timelines, but same universe. Okay, sorry, inside joke. Okay, got you. All right, so long story short, bunch of shit happens. Fee helps you make the goddess sword into the master sword. All right, you're like, all right, we beat up this dude named Demise. He curses the hero, not Link, the hero of Hylia's reincarnation, right? And that is why it isn't always like genetically related or a reincarnation. It is someone that takes up the mantle of Hylia's champion, and Hylia reincarnated as Zelda. Okay. Then after that, all women in the royal family were always named Zelda after Skyward Sword, because Princess Zelda is going to be the reincarnation. All women in the family are named Zelda. There are multiple Zeldas at the same time, by the way. So, you carry on with, where the fuck is my music? Your heart. All right. So, the music is turned down, right? Yeah, okay, it's in the right spot. I don't know why it does that. That's really strange. So, from there, all right. I believe the next one is the Four Swords Adventures. I could be incorrect if it's just Four Swords. Let me look up Zelda timeline to be sure, because I always get those two confused. All right, images. All right, and Minish Cap was next. Sorry, yeah. Minish Cap. Let me see all the different references though, because there are multiple. It would appear Minish Cap is always next. Okay, so Minish Cap is a very a surprisingly similar story, but also not, to every other Zelda game. So they have something called the Minish Sword, all right, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, but it's essentially the Minish Sword. It's a sword made by the Minish, all right. Pokiri sword or some shit. Pakiri, I don't fucking remember. I don't care. I didn't like the Minish Cap. I'm not gonna lie to you, all right. It's a Game Boy Advance game, all right. We have Zelda thanks to Robin Williams. That's a different Zelda, but you know what? Facts. You know, like that's fair. Anyways, so pretty much Minish Cap ends up going on. Link is, I believe, friends with Zelda, and then she ends up getting turned to stone because Vaati shows up. Now, everyone thinks that Demise always reincarnates as Ganon, right? Or Ganondorf. Incorrect. It is just he will reincarnate as an evil incarnate, right? So Minish Cap, that would be Vaati, whatever you want to pronounce his name as, all right? He's an evil wizard motherfucker, all right? A lot of the 2D Zeldas are more so essentially just A Link to the Past, just rewritten slightly, okay? So obviously not, but pretty much they're all the same fucking story, all right? With little variations here and there. So he ends up getting the Pokiri sword or Pakiri, I don't know. He ends up getting a hat too, and the hat's a wizard, right? And he's transformed into a hat duck, and he's like, "Honk! Help! Honk! I'm a wizard. My name's Eslo. Honk!" All right, not really, but kind of. Evil wizard, trained Vaati. Vaati is a reincarnation. Long story short of this, you go through a bunch of stupid dungeons, and the Pokiri, I believe that's what they're called, right? Zelda Minish Cap. That's bothering me that I can't remember their fucking name. The Minish people, I believe they're called the Pokiri. Princess Zelda, blah blah.
I know nothing of these.
Yeah, Picori Blade. So yeah, the Picori people or whatever. Yeah. Hyrule was ravaged by evil forces until the Picori, a race of tiny creatures, bestowed a young hero with the Picori Blade and the Light Force. Seems a little odd. So the Triforce and the Light Force are kind of like intertwined, similar things, but it's not quite like the wishing kind of thing, but it's like... So Zelda has essentially two different ways of explaining the Triforce of wishing, which is the Light Force and the Triforce, which are pretty much the same, but not. Yeah, it becomes a pain in the butt to try and keep everything straight. But long story short, Minish Cap, you don't play it, you aren't gonna miss out on anything. Just remember that there was a bunch of like very small people, right? They had a bunch of Smurfs that do magic and they build shit for them, all right? And they were so irrelevant to everything ever that they are never mentioned again in anything, except they were once thought to potentially be put into Breath of the Wild, and unless they are somehow in Tears of the Kingdom, they will never be referenced again, okay? Because no one gives a fuck about them, all right? Then, after that, we've got Four Swords, all right? At least I'm pretty sure it's Four Swords and not Four Swords Adventure. Let me take a look. Yes, Four Swords, not Four Swords Adventure, because Four Swords Adventure is just fucking Four Swords again. But it's still Four Swords. So, Four Swords, same fucking story, pretty much. Zelda ends up getting kidnapped or frozen into stone, or she ends up getting knocked the fuck out by something and taken away. Pretty much how all the 2D Zelda games go, but this one's different. You get the Four Sword. You find it in the woods, right? You rip that bitch out, all right? And then you're like, oh, I split into four motherfuckers. I'm red, green, blue, and purple. All right, so now I'm playing multiplayer pretty much with myself, all right? Which was already sort of an ability that was the Minish game. I believe they had a little cloning a bit when you walked down certain paths. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was the thing that they already did in that timeline. But then essentially same kind of story. You end up fighting an enemy. I believe it was 𝐿 that you fight in that, but that could be wrong because it's fucking, the 2D games are all the same fucking story. Okay, so let me go Zelda 4-sword. Let's see what the main antagonist is, because it's either it's Ganondorf, it's Twin Rolva, it's 𝐿, or it's Vaty. All right, Vati, whatever you want to pronounce it as. 4 swords. Restore health after learning that his evil counterpart of himself, Shadow Link, has been created. 4 swords. Blah 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 blah. Yeah, who's the main bad guy? All right, who's the main bad guy? All right, story. Blah blah. 4 swords to means of the dark mirror, the Shadow Link. Oh, it's literally Shadow Link. Okay, I never played 4 swords because I thought it was stupid. So you get like an evil version of yourself, which would still be considered the reincarnation of Demise because it is just evil. All right, evil incarnate is there to fight off the hero spirit, right? And the hero spirit is just whoever is there to defend Zelda, which is almost always in all games Zelda's friend. Okay, almost. Okay, that's important to know. Almost. Because they grew up together, but or his uncle was the fucking a knight that was like good friends with her, whatever, the trusted guards of the king. So his nephew, because his parents are always missing, because why the fuck wouldn't we make Link Batman? All right, is damn it, wish.com peach joking. Wow, okay. You know, we got to make Link Batman somehow, all right? Like, we got to give him the same fucking typical story of, I'm an orphan, but, like, sometimes I live with my uncle, right? You know, he's Spider-Man, he's Batman, whatever the fuck. You got a butler or you got an uncle that ends up getting shot. Long story short, he's Spider-Man if you go to A Link to the Past, because it's literally your uncle gets killed, right? And you live with your uncle. Uncle Ben! All right? So, whatever, 4 swords, you go, you fight Dark Link, you kick his ass with the 4 swords, you put it back where it's supposed to be, and it seals him. All right, after going through like the Shadow Mirror or some bullshit. All right, that includes the Shadow Realm or whatever. I don't fucking know, because there's too much going on, and it's a fucking Game Boy game, and no one likes Game Boy games. All right. Then we get to the good stuff. We get to Ocarina of Time. All right, now Ocarina of Time. Oh, Vaughn. Oh, Vaughn. Oh, Vaughn. Oh, Vaughn. Ocarina of Time is going to hurt your head. Okay, so. For those that don't know, this is our first encounter with time travel. That isn't Skyward Sword's bullshitty time travel, which is just dumb. Alright? That's a fucking butterfly effect, but not type of, it's more of like, God, how do I explain it? Oh God, how do I explain that type of one? It's not multiverse. It's not multiverse, but it's not necessarily butterfly effect, but it is butterfly effect with residuals. So it's more of like, I guess almost like a Schrodinger's cat style of fucking time travel bullshit with like, if this happens, is it not? Because we don't know, because we're not there. But then we get to that part, but it wasn't there at the beginning because then we didn't see it, but now we do. So it makes it butterfly effect, but it's not actually. Long story short, they use time gates that use a fucking type of magical stone. It's a blue stone. The Ocarina of Time is made out of that. That's the only relevant point of me bringing up Skyward Sword while talking about Ocarina of Time. Okay? They have time stones, all right? Time stones are literally how you travel through time in it. And that's the whole gimmick that Skyward Sword has of like, oh, you're looking at parts of the past, but it's actually more in the future because it's technologically advanced. Were these potentially robots made by the 𝐁𝐼? We don't know yet because we like to theorize because we're Zelda fucking theorists. Anyways, so Ocarina of Time, you are a little bitch boy, all right? A little bitch boy whose mama decided to drop him off in front of a tree because she was like, oh man, my husband died in the war and I got injured, so I ran into this lost woods where people aren't supposed to go. But sensing that there was a child of destiny, the tree was like, oh, I'll let her actually make it into the town, right? She makes it through the entire village of children, all right? This dying woman, all right? And she goes up to the Great Deku Tree and goes, please take care of my child. Let him grow up and let him be strong and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, make him safe. And him going, this is a child of legacy. He is destined to save us all. I will take care of this child. Bring him to this location over here. And then when you, because she's going to pass away. He's like, that way when you pass away, your body will be nourishment for the tree in which we will grow his home, right? That way you can always be with him, right? That's a little bit of fan theory, by the way. So that's why Link's tree is different from everyone else's in there, because his mom was, she died there, and the Kokiri children ended up being like, oh, and they like buried her there, and because the Great Deku Tree said to, and then he used his magical powers to grow a tree there using her energy, so that she could, whatever. And then they raised the child in that place. Fun fact, also the entirety of the Kokiri forest, like the little village that's there, not a fucking damn door anywhere. Okay, that's why when you're in the tutorial and you're playing in the Great Deku Tree and he has doors in him, Navi's like, it's a door, press A, right? Because no one had ever fucking played a 3D game before that needed open doors, because before that we had fucking Mario 64 where you jump through paintings, all right? And you only go up to the front door and you press it every once in a while. Or I'd be like, I got enough keys, I walk in front of it, now it open, right? Whereas this, it's like you have to interact with it, right? That's why it says that, that's why it tells you, but they have an in-world explanation as well, because Link has never seen a fucking door before. That's why they explain it in the tutorial, because they aren't gonna tell you when you're just walking around town. They're gonna tell you when you're fucking in a dungeon. That way it makes sense, because you're learning everything, because it's all important right now, right? Anyways, no, yeah. Sorry, I always have to go on that tangent anytime I think about the doors in Zelda when people get mad about it. So, anyways, Link grows up in the Kokiri Forest. He ends up getting a fairy. Doctor, I have good news and bad news. Parents, is our kid okay? Oh no, your kid is fine. That's the good news. Bad news, your kid is a main character. Pulls out a 45, loud screams. Exactly. But as I said, once again, Link is orphaned, and this time his uncle is a fucking tree. Guess what dies after you complete that dungeon? The tree! Your uncle dies again! Because everyone treated the Deku Tree like their father in the forest, because they're all technically Koroks, but that's the Kokiri, because the Kokiri predate the Koroks, because it was easier for them to take on a human form to build things and do things, and rather than building everything naturally, they wanted to make bridges, they wanted to make fences, they wanted to make it a welcoming place for the Hylians, because at one point, the Great Deku Tree was on good terms with the Hylians, but the Hylians ended up going at war with the Gorons and the Zoras at some point, and that's where that's where the Great War came from, that caused Link in order to have his mom die, and the Great Deku Tree sealed off the entire place from everyone else, and that's where the Lost Woods are, what are between the Kokiri Forest and Hyrule Field, right? Even though technically you only walk across one bridge, you go through the Lost Woods, right? It is insinuated that you go through a lot more of the actual woods than just going through a big tube, but it's a fucking N64 game, so they had to make it simple for you. There is lore behind it though, because if you look at the map, there's a lot of woods in between there. Okay. So, anyways, people could not get in there anymore because he shut off the woods and allowed them to get lost in the Lost Woods. That's where the curse comes from, or if you go into the Lost Woods, you are going to turn into a Skull Kid, because you will be trapped there, because the Great Deku Tree literally has the ability to shape the woods around you, alright? That is the original thing. Well, I'm off to bed. Alright, take it easy, bye, love you, homie. Alright, so, Link grows the fuck up, alright, a little bit, and then he ends up, killing off Goma. Goma is a parasite that was inside the Great Deku Tree that he was gonna die anyways. Gives him the Spiritual Stone. He ends up going, he's like, I'll go see Zelda, because that's what I gotta do now. Talks to a fucking giant owl. The owl is actually Rauru, who is the Sage of Light, but he's taken on a form of an owl so he can be in, the normal realm. So it's like, alright, cool. Long story short, talks to Zelda, gets some shit done, ends up going and getting the other two stones, right? Gets engaged to a fish, and becomes brothers with a giant rock, and then ends up being like, all right, bet, dope, let's go. Goes to grab the Master Sword, right? So he can go and fight Ganon, all right, or Ganondorf, because Ganondorf just chases Zelda away. Well, I had to get the Ocarina of Time. Remember how we mentioned the Ocarina of Time in Ocarina of Time? Yeah, it's made out of the magical blue stones that allow you to control time. All right, so this controls time differently, okay? It allows people with royal blood to control time in a linear pattern of, let's say, the brain work, like butterfly effect, okay? Because it uses the time stone type things, and it has butterfly effect type shit. Whereas, if someone that doesn't have the royal blood uses it, it will be more of just able to interact with things, but not actually move them fully. It'll move them back and forth between time. That's why if you use the Song of Time against those blue stones in that, if you're on the kid timeline, they'll go to the adult timeline, which is a different spot. And if you go to the adult timeline and you use it, it'll go to the kid timeline and it'll be in that spot, right? Fun fact, try it out. All right, if you ever play Ocarina of Time, find one of those blue Song of Time stones and then use it as a kid or use it as an adult. They'll be in different spots, all right? That's just how it works, okay? Okay. So, Link goes to grab the Master Sword. Now, remember that fee-fi-fo-fum motherfucker that we were talking about earlier? Yeah, that bitch seals Link in the Sacred Realm for 7 years because he wasn't old enough. She has literally helped save the world before, and she goes, you know what would be good? Leaving the door of time open that is the gate to the Sacred Realm, and just sealing our only hero away for 7 years because he's not tall enough yet to wield this motherfucker. You're the goddess of that sword. You control it. Make it lighter, okay? Like, make it smaller. Do something. You can control. It's a magical fucking blade, all right? You know how much shit would have been stopped if you just helped this bitch out? So anyways, after Link opened up the door and did all that, he had to deal with that bullshit. He becomes an adult. He's been sealed there for 7 years. Roru was like, yeah, your sword's a bitch. Everything went to shit while you've been locked away here. By the way, your body's a little bit longer. Walking might be weird, all right? Just saying. And you're like, oh, I understand how my legs work because you're going through puberty because you're 16 years old now, okay? So, anyways, you're like, oh, well, I'm gonna go see my friends back in the forest. Well, all my friends are either dead or in their homes, scared because there's monsters everywhere. Because, oh, right, my uncle died, / tree, all right? He's dead, so... Now go fix everything, but yeah, pretty much, because fuck fee fi fo fum. All right, so he's like, all right, well, everyone's nearly dead. Well, maybe Saria, she doesn't chill in here, but she's already in a place where there's already enemies, so she'll be fine. Oh, she's missing. Oh, look, there's a ninja. Oh, the ninja taught me how to go up here. Oh, I need to go get a thing from a dead guy that I talked to as a child when I was on my little errand run. All right, cool. Oh, his spirit gives you the hook shot. Doop, dop, a bop, a bop. The motherfucker grabs a tree, goes on up there, all right? And this year, speedrunner and just bomb hover up there because fuck it, all right? You don't need a fucking hook shot. All right, so get up there, do your thing, take out the dungeon. That's actually the dungeon I'm going to be doing the video about, where it's theorized it was a Hylian outpost. Well, fun fact, it's not actually a Hylian outpost. The original thought process behind it was that the original Ocarina of Time was going to take entirely in place inside of Ganon's castle, and that is a remnant of it and potentially one of the original maps ever made for the game, but they liked it so much that they made it into a dungeon that would be later on as an adult, because they didn't assume that you'd be playing as a kid. They just wanted to make the map first, and they tried that out first. And that is why the Forest Temple looks like it's a part of a castle, which led to the theory that it is a Hylian outpost, because if you look at it, it has the same markings that Cairo Castle has throughout it. All right. The forest dungeon is one of the easiest ones, homie. Everyone's like, oh, I hate the water temple. You just suck. It's not hard. It's just basic math.
The water temple?
Yeah, water temple's just basic math. So, anyways, did my music pause again? We'll be a little upsetty spaghetti. This bitch. Okay, I am so confused why it keeps pausing. All right, but anyways, so you end up dealing with that. You find your old friend. Turns out she's maybe dead, but she became the sage of the forest. I got lost so much. Water temple was easy. Yeah, water temple's basic math. And then paying attention to your map if you don't know where you're going. Well, you're like, all right, cool. Well, there's one friend gone. All right, they're in the Sacred Realm, so I guess they aren't dead, but they're kind of dead. So let's go and see about my rock brother that I talked to before. Wow, look, everyone's gone and dead again. All right, well, there's a little bitch boy over here. Let's go blow him the fuck up so he'll stop moving. Oh, he's named after me. Oh, you're the son of that guy. That means that rock had some fucking riz. All right, good to know. All right, so whatever. Give me the fucking tunic. Let's hop on in there. Fuck. You end up going and doing this dungeon. You end up saving them, fighting it off a dragon. Fun fact in the manga, right? Because there's a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time manga. That dragon is actually Link's pet, and he bought it in Market Town. And when he was sealed away, Ganon thought it would be cruel and funny in order to corrupt that dragon and make it into a demon. In lore, it's just an ancient dragon that lived in the dungeon, of which you don't even want to get into Death Mountain fucking lore. So. Anyways, boss of the Forest Temple, I always got my camera stuck in the fencing. Oh god. This means you have to try and stay closer to the middle of the map, dude. Anyways, you end up dealing with that. You bit that bitch with a hammer. Turns out, homie dead, brother dead, whatever. Alright, let's go deal with water shit. Everything icy. Alright, cool. Alright. End up going and deal with all this. What?
I have to deal with the dog quickly, so I gotta pause you because I'm actually really enjoying this.
Okay.
So,
all right, go do your thing, man. I will be here.
Back.
I can hear the dog. This is fine. All right. Well, I will get back onto that topic in a little bit, everybody. How is everyone else? Why is my music stopping? This foolish music being a little bitch. All right, but yeah, so we talk about lore and stuff right now. So we'll be coming up with some more things once he gets back, because Ocarina of Time is where everything is super important lore-wise, and that's why I'm going more in depth with it, you guys. Hopefully you guys like it. Boss room, a small boxing arena. Yep, pretty much, honestly. But you gotta pretty much just stay right in the middle. That's how you can fix it. Or just go really close to him in order to fix it. Or swap between your targeting a couple times. So, really not that hard, but you can do it. I believe in you. Though I definitely get you with like the camera issues and shit. I feel like we should play, have you guys heard that there's an Ocarina of Time mod that came out recently? It's called Indigo. And it's still in like its demo mode, but it's actually like really fucking cool. So, I have it downloaded. So I might wanna do that soon. We might do that tomorrow. If you guys wanna do that tomorrow. You guys start doing Indigo. Because I'm gonna pretend that we beat Majora's Mask, because fuck Majora's Mask. Alright? This takes place after Majora's Mask. So, and it uses the Ocarina of Time engine. So, as opposed to the Majora's Mask engine, which is supposed to be the same one, but changed. Able to do Cursed Halo? We already did Cursed Halo. Like, we already did that a while ago. Like, we beat that. Like, forever ago, homie. That was, like, months ago that we did that. Mind you, I haven't played Halo in a little while. I really want to get into playing, like, Destiny 2. Because, like, it's made by Bungie, and it's free, and I have a lot of friends that play it. So I feel like it'd be a fun thing for us to try and get into, because I also really like Halo, so I would probably like it. So, maybe. Still waiting on the new computer to eventually get here, but it is what it is, you know?
I have returned.
Welcome back, my friend. Is everyone ready to get into the water temple version?
Yeah, we gotta get to the caviar.
Yes. All right. Well, you know, I'll eat them eggs. All right. Anyways, go ahead, lie to me and tell me that you would not do dirty things with Rudo, adult Rudo. But you know, Rudo, we just like fish, bro. Right, Yummish? Anyways, so you go into the water temple, you end up doing all this bullshit, you end up finding your wife is there. It turns out that she goes up to a spot, then you don't see her anymore, which means that she just did something I don't fucking know, right? So you're like, all right, you get to the end of it. Oh, well, we can't get married because I have to stay as a sacred priestess, blah, 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 sacred realm bullshit. All right, cool, bye-bye, bitch. All right, well, let's kind of go do the shadow realm thing, so we gotta go over to deal with some bullshit. Well, oh, I have to go back in time to be a kid again, because now I need to go down and do the shit in the well. Well, I need to go and get the Song of Storms from adult me. All right, so adult me has to go to Kakariko Village anyways and get it. So you get it. You get the Song of Storms, and then as a kid, you go back in time 7 years because somehow the Sacred Realm was able to do that. All right, nothing establishes that the Sacred Realm is able to put you back 7 years. By the way, my theory is the fact that you have the Ocarina of Time, and that is all. That is all, because it is a time shift stone. Well, it has a time shift stone in it. That's made of a time shift stone. That's the only reason I can think of. That is the only reason that makes any sense on why you can travel backwards in time in that. Because the Sacred Realm is not a link between points in time. The Sacred Realm is simply a separate realm. Remember how we were talking about the different realms, like the Demon Realm? Well, Sacred Realm is its own thing. So it doesn't send you back and forth through time. Meaning that entirely, that is the Ocarina of Time being connected with the Master Sword and the Sacred Realm all working together to send you back in time. So you go back and you're like, okay, well, this song that I learned from the future from me is the song that we're going to use in order to lower the well. So you end up doing that, use it, whatever, go down, get the fucking, whatever, you get the Lens of Truth, which you don't actually fucking need. So you're like, all right, I've got what I needed. I'm going to go, get, if you don't already have it, get Din's Fire from fucking Hyrule Castle. Doesn't really matter. That's not really an important thing. Long story short, you end up doing the Fire Temple, and the main enemy, the main boss, bad guy, Bongo that lives there. He was sealed there by the Sheikah people. Now, if you look at the Shadow Temple, the entirety of the Shadow Temple is a torture chamber type place and prison. The Sheikah were torturing people during the big war, the Great War thing that happened like before Link was born type thing, or during when Link was born kind of thing, right? So
that's dark.
Yeah, well, it's also theorized that Bongo is a Twilight. Because a lot of the evil Sheikah were the ones that were sent there as well, right? The ones that turned against them, the elopers, or interlopers, sorry. Not elopers, interlopers. Not people getting married without a giant ceremony. The interlopers, they were sent to the Twilight Realm around the time of that war, okay? And the Twilight Realm takes place in Twilight Princess, one of the next games in this series, okay? So, we deal with the fact that it's entirely possible that he is an escaped Twilight, or that he is something from the demon realm that you have to deal with. But it was always said that he was an ancient wizard type thing that was part of the Sheikah that was really strong, blah, 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 right? So it's possible that he was an escaped, we'll just assume based on the fact that he's like a super strong guy and he's trapped there, that he's just an escaped Twilight that was one of the interlopers, all right? Little fun theory. So you end up dealing with that. You end up having to go to the Spirit Temple now. Spirit Temple is across Gerudo Desert. Long story short, you deal with a lot of bullshit to be able to get there, freeing people and stuff, and you get there as an adult, right? So you end up getting all the way to this place. You play through the entire desert. You get there, you go inside, you step back outside. They go, hey, you can teleport here. They're like, all right, thanks for the song, homie, right? So you have to go back there as a kid so you can go through a little hole because a bitch wants you to go grab some gloves. You do the whole dungeon. You fight a giant iron knuckle, and you know, you grab the gloves, and the second you grab the gloves, you look over, that bitch is getting put through a portal. Okay, bye-bye. Time for me to become an adult and do the other side of this dungeon now that I have the strength to use these fucking gauntlets because they're a little bit stronger than a Goron bracelet, right? This friendship bracelet was great and all, but it's not as powerful as the silver gauntlets. Silver gauntlets allow you to move super fucking strong shit. So he ends up using the things that were originally going to be given to that bitch so she could go do the dungeon and get the mirror shield, right? Mirror shield in order to fight Twin Rova. Right? Well, now you're an actual, like, warrior, not a fucking thief, evil, kind of stealthy person. You're a dude that actually uses a shield. So you go through that side of the dungeon, fight an iron knuckle, you end up getting that shit, and you're like, all right, well, now time to go through the middle because I've got the big old iron, or the mirror shield, and you go, and then you fight the two parents of Ganondorf, and you're like, all right, cool. All right. Now, as you've noticed, there has been multiple times that we've gone back and forth in time. Now, that includes multiverse theory, and Ocarina of Time includes multiverse theory. So, after you defeat Twin Rova, you end up going, beating Ganon's castle. You go, you kick the shit out of Ganon, all right? Now, this is where the bad shit happens, okay? There are multiple timelines. There are 3 branches, not 2. There are 3 branches. After you beat Ganon, right? Not just Ganondorf, but Ganon, the reincarnation of Demise's hatred. Not always is it going to be Ganondorf, but it will be the enemy, right, of Zelda that will fight Hylia's reincarnation. Hylia's reincarnation's hero, right? The one that is opposed to him. So, you end up sitting there, you kick his ass, you do the shit. All right, so now you get sent back in time to relive your timeline. However, now this timeline does not have a link because this entire timeline was dependent. That's the original timeline. That is your sealed timeline, okay? That is where you initially start the game, is the adult timeline. Because you are sealed away for 7 years. You don't get transported in time 7 years. You get sealed for 7 years. That's the original timeline. There is no more hero. The hero is gone from this timeline. They need a new hero. A new champion for Zelda, right? Well, bad shit happens. They can't do shit because they don't have a hero anymore because it's the same Zelda, right? Or if it's not the same Zelda, it doesn't really matter because there's still the spirit of the hero went back in time. It's gone. They need to form a new spirit of the hero. So, you know, they talk to the bitches that run the fucking Triforce, and they're like, you'll help. And they're like, all right, we'll flood this bitch. And that's where Wind Waker comes from. But we get to go and see the end of the game, though, right? Because that's what happens without us. We are now a kid again. We're in a new timeline. We are put back to before we pulled the Master Sword, before we are sealed away. Literally the moment before we touch it. That is where we are put. Okay, Navi, being a fairy, fairies die after they have been used for their purpose, okay? That is why when you use the red fairies in order to heal, or sorry, pink, whatever you want to call them, right? They disappear because they died, right? Navi's entire purpose was to guide you through that journey. Navi, being your friend, does not want you to see her die, so she goes up through a window and disappears. Link assumes that she went towards the Kokiri Forest again. That leads into Majora's Mask, because he's exploring trying to find his friend. His fairy had died and he did not know, okay? So, he goes on this little adventure, stumbles across some little bitch kid that steals masks, and he's got evil stuff, steals horses, steals ocarinas. He's a douche canoe, all right? Fuck Skull Kid, all right? Oh, I feel bad for him because, you know, he didn't have any friends, and then when he did have friends, but they need to go do things, and then he stole a mask, and then he went all evil. Yeah, he's a dick, all right? Fuck him, all right? I don't give a fuck about him, all right? Anyways, you have the entire story of Majora's Mask, which has more time travel, all right? But this time travel, this time travel, it resets you, all right? And it doesn't change things when you go back because you lose everything. Okay, so that means that we are doing a redo, a rewind. We are not doing proper time travel of going back in time and everything is able to be changed. We are erasing timelines every single time that you go in reverse, all right? A third type of time travel, all right? Well, burn them? What? Oh, yeah. So, yeah, fuck him. He's made out of hay anyways. Not really, but kind of. So, you're literally erasing a timeline every time that you go back, but you retain the things that you've acquired, right? And that is why you were able to redo quests and be given the same item again, right? Because you are rewinding time, right? You don't actually get the same item again, but like if it's like a money quest where you get like 20 rupees, you'd be able to get it again, and therefore it's a rewind. That's the proof that I'm going to work with, and that's what we're going to assume is what is happening. Okay. So, Majora's Mask erases the timeline that you are currently in to rewind 3 days. The whole point of it, you get all these dungeons, you end up doing all the things, you get the masks in order to free all the things because that mask has been saved. That is the only thing that retains because that mask was brought back, and that is the spirit of whatever monster was concealing the thing. That is the only thing that is not being brought back with you when you do whatever, right? You're able to fight the thing again, but you have its ability to overcome it, and that's how like the 4 giants are able to stop the moon, right? Everyone's gonna say it's an alternate timeline, another world, because Termina is another dimension, right? I have a theory that Termina is not another dimension. It is simply a part of the Lost Woods that kind of fucks with everybody because how do I explain this? There isn't really anything in the game that tells you what is east and west other than saying it's east and west for that part of Clocktown. The map could be upside down. You're in the Lost Woods, okay? Shit could be there, all right? I've explained this on stream before, and I've shown it on like the greater Breath of the Wild map mixed in with Twilight Princess's, Ocarina of Time's, and Majora's Mask's maps to be able to show you exactly where it would have been. Maybe a theory I'll make on a video another day, but that is not what we're going to explain today. So, okay, so you deal with all this bullshit, you get through that story, and then you get to Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess is a direct descendant of that Link. After he marries Malon, it is assumed because, well, he's not going to marry frickin' Princess Zelda, all right? Because, well, Ganondorf was already caught because of what they said, and this is just some random bitch kid that is an orphan that was raised by a fucking tree, okay? Don't care, all right? Well, the farm girl liked him. She thought he looked neat, right? Now that he came back from another dimension, or possibly just made his way through the woods, right? Depending on how you go and think about it, you know? Depending on your, it doesn't really matter. It's the same Link, all right? He comes back, marries Malon. That's why at the beginning of Twilight Princess, you work on a farm, all right? And everyone is in Ordon Village. Ordon Village is pretty much where Kokiri Village would have been. And the forest has been moved because, well, in real life, forests move, believe it or not. They plant, like, trees will grow. They will grow outwards. Sometimes conditions make it so that the trees don't grow in certain directions, such as bad soil, sand, or deforestation, all right? It's also possible because it was growing in a certain direction, all right? Plants are gonna grow in, say, north way, not south, east, or west. So the forest going that way, people that are on the south will be cutting down trees, therefore the forest has moved, okay? That is how a moving forest works, all right? There's also things like forest fires and whatnot, which is entirely possible. And that is another explanation as to why the forests in Breath of the Wild are in different places than they are during Ocarina of Time or Twilight Princess, and that's why Twilight Princess has a different map than Ocarina of Time, right? Things are obviously gonna change a little bit because different designers making different games, but that's a very basic premise explaining why the Kokiri Forest changes, all right? And why the Lost Woods are different. And there's magic too. Yeah, true. Yeah, like literally the Great Deku Tree was able to just make people not be able to fucking leave, and they become evil, and we're not really evil, but lost, and they become Skull Kids. Anyways. So, we go into this timeline, you deal with all this bullshit. I'm not even gonna try to explain all of Twilight Princess. Just know that eventually you end up meeting the Twilight bitches, all right? And she's fine as fuck when she transforms. When she does the little imp thing, that's up to you to be of your prerogative or whatnot, but I mean, you do you, fam, all right? If you like that giant power hand, you go for it, but not for me, all right? At least not publicly. I mean, what? No. Anyways. No. Yeah, okay, like the whole fucking game, all Minna does is moan in your ear if you wear headphones.
I like
Have you ever listened to any of the sounds that she makes? Minna just moans. That is all of her sounds. I like all this lore, yeah. So, well, I'm just getting into the time travel stuff. All right, so long story short, you go through the Twilight Princess timeline, all right, story. Ocarina of Time to me is the most important because of all the things that I brought up, okay? So that is why we're doing this real quick, all right? So we got the Twilight Princess. You go through all this bullshit, right? And I don't believe there's any time travel in it, but there is another realm, so we're going to talk about the Twilight Realm real quick. Another dimension that you're able to go to where the Twilight are, and we already talked about it with it being Bongo being an escaped Twilight, right? Because, you know, Ganondorf is set there during around that same time, right? During Ocarina of Time. Probably just before Majora's Mask starts, because at that point you go and you're like, oh, Ganondorf's bad guy. I'm taking the spiritual stones and I'm putting them back. Right? So, you know, there's that entire timeline. There's also a downfall timeline, but whatever. But Twilight Princess, you beat him. All right, you kick his ass, and he's donezo. All right, he's gone. Finito. All right. And the Twilight, you end up beating up the main bad guy from that too. He's just kind of a bitch. Midna technically becomes a reincarnation of Hylia because Princess Zelda gives her life essence to Midna so she can survive in the sun, even though she's a Twilight and they aren't able to do that. So technically her and Zelda fused in a way, but then you meet Zelda later on and she helps you with shit. So, but Midna's still there. So technically there's two versions of Hylia now, or two halves of Hylia's spirit are in reincarnations, meaning that Zelda will reincarnate as Zelda again, but Midna now also has the spirit of Hylia, or Hylia, however you want to pronounce it. All right. So technically the Twilight Realm is now able to also have their own hero, but that means that they'll also have the same issue of the reincarnation of Demise, potentially. So the way that the hero is chosen is a very great example of this. We will use Wind Waker, the other timeline, the timeline for the adult timeline, where your original timeline in Ocarina of Time, where you were sent back away from so they don't have a hero anymore. Wind Waker, they didn't have a hero. You pick up the mantle of hero. You become Zelda's champion without knowing that you are becoming Zelda's champion, because she is Tetra at the time, because she doesn't even know that she's Zelda, because she's been transformed, and therefore the entirety of the process is able to be redone, right? And Ganondorf is there, but this is the original Ganondorf that we fought before that was, you know, sent to death, but not really, because he was just sailed in the Sacred Realm. We didn't actually kill him. We stabbed Ganon in the head, not Ganondorf. Ganondorf is a human form. Damn it, hero, you bring destruction. Well, I mean, potentially. Hold on, I got a theory on it, okay? So, because the hero needed to be summoned, but the reincarnation of Hylia was already there, right? She didn't know who she was going to be, you know? Like, she was uninformed that she was actually Zelda, all right? That's the whole thing about Tetra. So it is all prophecy that allowed a new hero to take on that mantle because Ganondorf came back, because the Curse of Demise came back, okay? So the Curse of Demise ends up showing up again after he escapes from the Sacred Realm, right? But this is a much more cool and collected and analytical Ganondorf. He does not want to fight you. If you play Wind Waker, Ganondorf doesn't want to fight you. All he wants to do is free Hyrule and allow his people to live a good life. That is what he wants to do now. He's had time to think about it. This is a much more mature Ganondorf. This is not the same one that was sealed in the Twilight Realm. This is the one that was older and sealed in the Sacred Realm and had already had everything and then lost everything. Not one that was going to get everything and then was angry that it was taken away and was put in the Twilight Realm, right? That is the younger version. That is the one from 7 years in the past. This one has had several years to work on this, and he's figured shit out. Now, yes, he does still try to fight you because, you know, you just, you know, the King Hyrule Boss Faramis, I think that's his name. The boat, right? King of Red Lions. Spoiler, sorry. You know, he kind of a bitch, and he's like, no, I want all of Hyrule to go away. And Ganondorf's like, no. And then you stab him in the forehead, and he becomes stone. Type bullshit. Not in that order, obviously. Shit's a little bit different. But, you know, it is what it is. They could have had Hyrule, but they're like, but then all the people of this world wouldn't know what's going on, and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, but the fucking Zora could come back. They transformed into fucking birds for some reason. And that's why the Breath of the Wild timeline's kind of weird. But anyways, so that's how we're able to use the idea of the hero wasn't there until Demise's curse came back. But the spirit of Hylia was there. Meaning that in the Twilight Realm, unless the Curse of Demise shows up there, they're just able to have a champion and have a reincarnation of Hylia because Midna has Hylia's energy in her now from Zelda, all right? Because she was able to survive in the sunlight still, meaning that she had Hylia's power, okay? Even though she sealed the Twilight Realm, right, by breaking the mirror behind her, and in Breath of the Wild, you end up finding parts of the Twilight Mirror, or part of it, little ones, like the smaller versions. It's entirely possible they will never be touched by Demise's curse, but there's a future game that could potentially need them, so we need to reactivate the Twilight Realm and bring the spirit of Hylia back, because it would be a very interesting thought process, seeing as a lot of Zelda games do not have, they have Zelda out of the picture. Well, if we go to the Fallen timeline, which is actually, in my opinion, more the missed timelines. Remember all those times in Ocarina of Time where you went back and forth in time? Those timelines don't have a hero anymore. You left those timelines. It's multiverse theory. That is proven by the end of the game. That means that all those times that you went back and forth in time is times that Link didn't come back. He didn't go back. He just disappeared for both child and adult timelines. Any one of those could have been the Fallen timeline. It's not about Link dying. It's about him not being there. So that's where the entire Fallen timeline comes from. I really don't want to get into the Fallen timeline because it's just a lot of boring 2D games, I'm not going to lie. And yes, I know A Link to the Past is in there, but pretty much, again, it's the same story as Minish Cap and Four Swords. You have Zelda gets captured, turned to stone, or put to sleep, and then you go and you get a sword that allows you to fight shit, and you go and kick ass, and then you end up beating Aghanim, Vaidi, Ganondorf, Twinrova, whatever it is, you end up beating them, and then all is happy. Zelda was your childhood friend, and now she's back to being princess because her dad is dead. All right, so maybe she'll be queen now, right? Literally every 2D Zelda, except for Zelda 2, but nobody touches Zelda 2. That's actually in an Eastern Kingdom that is not Hyrule. But nobody knows the fucking lore about that game. Nobody really wants to know the lore about that game. The whole thought process is...
Oh no, you killed me.
No, that's the CDI games. But, yeah, those aren't canon at all, but, you know, just after I'm creating many timelines. Yeah, literally, Yumish, that literally means that those timelines are the Fallen timeline. Every single one of those is the Fallen timeline.
There's a lot of Fallen timelines.
Yeah, if you don't know what you're doing in the game and you go back in time more times than you need to, technically you created more Fallen timelines. But they're all gonna essentially have the same result because no one cares about the Fallen timeline. Because if I take a quick look-see doodle over here, the Fallen timeline is A Link to the Past, Oracle of Seasons and Ages, Link's Awakening, the original Legend of Zelda, and the Adventure of Link, which is the second Legend of Zelda, okay? No one gives a fuck about Adventure of Link. The original Legend of Zelda was fun for its time, but nobody ever plays it, right? Unless they're just like, oh, I really enjoy playing the retro game, but like, I don't really care for the lore at all. Careful, it's a secret to everybody, okay? The only one that people really care about is Link's Awakening and for A Link to the Past, right? And Link's Awakening, it's entirely a dream, so none of it even fucking matters, all right? So it doesn't matter, all right? Nothing matters. The Windfish, literally all we get from that is the fact that Leviathans exist and they have the power to create universes, realms, more problems for us in lore-wise shit, all right? You find 3 Leviathans in Breath of the Wild, okay? Not super grand. I think there's also yeah, I don't think there's really anything else in that timeline. I'm trying to find all the other versions. Yeah, because some people put Four Swords and Four Swords Adventures in the Fallen timeline, which also does make sense. But the Triforce Heroes is in there as well, and A Link Between Worlds. Link Between Worlds and A Link to the Past are pretty much mirroring stories of each other, but one is going to the Dark Realm, the other one is going to Low Rule, of which are also separate realms. So, like, Low Rule proves that there's the existence of another realm that is a mirror realm, of which is supporting of the theory that Majora's Mask is an alternate dimension, because Low Rule is an alternate dimension, because it has its own Link and it has its own Zelda, right? And it has its own curse of demise, right? It is the inverted world of Hyrule, right? It's Low Rule. Kind of poor naming convention there, but whatever. So, whereas A Link to the Past is Oh god. It uses the Dark Realm, and the Dark Realm is actually the Sacred Realm, also called the Spirit Realm. Not often called the Spirit Realm, but it's sometimes called the Spirit Realm. And it is corrupted by Ganondorf using the Triforce. All right. That means that the entire Sacred Realm has now become the Dark Realm, but the Dark Realm is not the Demon Realm. So, but the Dark Realm uses the same factors of energy that Twilight Realm uses from Twilight Princess, where it turns people into either ghosts or monsters. Link became a wolf. If you read the comics of A Link to the Past, Link becomes a wolf. Fun fact, those are from the 90s, possibly the 80s. I don't remember, right? But it's a comic book, and it has that. So I've probably got it, well, it's either a comic or a manga, but like I've got it on my computer somewhere. I could probably find it. But yeah, so Link becomes a wolf in that. I think that probably inspired Twilight Princess's change of into a wolf, because wolves are courageous warrior animals. Yay! So, fun fact. But yeah, the entire Downfall timeline is just pretty much the same story repeating itself over and over, unless you get to Oracle Ages and Seasons, of which are supposed to have a third game, of which is supposed to be, I don't fucking remember, but one is Din, one is Furore, and one is Nayru, or Nayru, whatever. That game really only focuses on Nayru and Din. There's supposed to be one about Furore, and they didn't end up making it because it would have been too complex to do that on a Game Boy Color. So they didn't. But those games are technically the same story, but not, because you can play one and it will unlock different things in the other game. So you have to play them in a specific order, but it doesn't matter which order because the third game didn't exist. So fuck those games. There's a kangaroo with fucking boxing gloves. They've got a big old dude with a big flail who's like, I'm a third armor, I'm a big dog guy, fuck you, right? They got some kind of like sugar mama type shit. She's like, I'm the bad guy, you know, she's kind of cool, but like, fuck that shit, you know? Just fuck the Oracle games, okay? I'm sorry, they're just stupid. I don't like them. And then, again, as I said, Link Awakening is bullshit. It's just all in the head, so it doesn't really matter. It's in your brain. It's more of a lighthearted joke game. Triforce Heroes is the same kind of fucking shit. It's just a lighthearted joke game, and we don't really care much for the original Legend of Zelda. All we get from that is pretty much the Breath of the Wild map sort of lined up, but not really, because the Breath of the Wild map was very loosely inspired off the original map of Legend of Zelda. The only thing that we've got is that there's a Deku tree that is dead in it, because you go inside of a giant dead tree, and that would be in the wrong spot with where it is, because it's on the left, or like left side of the map, which would be the west. But as we said, it's entirely possible that the tree could just fucking move, because if you play Breath of the Wild, the Great Deku Tree is north of the Forest Temple, the Hyrule Castle, instead of down to the southeast. But forests move, and we have multiple Deku trees. We literally in Wind Waker have a Deku tree inside of a previous Deku tree. Okay, so. And the Deku tree that we see the Deku tree that we see in Ocarina of Time, he dies, his son literally appears right in front of him. Therefore, the forest has already moved, because that's the Deku tree. They can just sprout a new one of themselves anytime, and just retain the knowledge of the previous one. So they just have to grow up. And that's why if you play Breath of the Wild, there's an entire giant forest going from the east northwards, northwest-ish, right? Of giant fucking trees that have fallen over, meaning that the forest at one point was there, okay? Meaning that the Lost Woods moved north, all right? That's all it was. So.
Seeds can travel.
Yep, exactly.
That is why I suffer every morning.
What?
Allergies.
I was talking about nut, but that's fine. I mean, what? Anyways, okay, so that's some timeline shit, all right? So we can get into more time travel shit, but I mean, like, did any of that catch your interest, Vaughn? What would you like me to expand upon? Because there is a lot more. Like, there's the entirety of the adult timeline with the Wind Waker eventually becoming Phantom Hourglass, becoming Spirit Tracks, which is in New Hyrule, which is a land far off to one direction. I don't fucking remember whether it was east or west. I don't fucking care. No one likes that game. But yeah.
Which was your first? Which of them was your first?
The first Zelda game I ever played? Ocarina of Time.
Ocarina of Time. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Mine was Link's Awakening, actually. The Game Boy Brick.
I feel bad for you.
Yeah, well.
I mean, it's pretty much, it's a lighthearted game, so it's a good one to start with, I guess, but like,
yeah.
that is such a weird introduction to the series.
That's also
because
back
it
when
doesn't
I literally did not care about anything video game related whatsoever. So it was like, this is a fun thing to do when I'm bored.
Okay, that's a good way to play that game then. Yeah, you got lucky with that because that was my first Zelda game. I would never have cared about Zelda because that is just such an ass pull at the end. None of it really mattered. You're actually still afloat in sea. Goodbye.
You know,
Fuck you stupid fish.
Yeah, to be rightfully fair, I never really did care about Zelda up until like I started to care about video games more often. So,
that is fair. That is fair.
Yeah. No, I can't say the same for one of my brothers. But
yeah, Ocarina of Time has always been my shit. That's why I know so much about it. That's why I went more in depth about it, because it has a lot more importance to the series, because it is the branching point of all stories. Breath of the Wild is a really confusing thing, and I think they're just going to try and do a soft reboot of the entire series with a separate timeline. That's honestly what it looks like.
They would do that, though. That makes sense to me.
Well, no, so technically, it doesn't need to be a reboot, because if you go into Skyward Sword, you use time shift stones to go back in time to find super advanced robots, and there was a prosperous land, and before Demise attacked, Hylia was living on the land, but she moved everyone up to Skyloft, right? She literally took giant parts of the land and brought them up to the sky and put the cloud barrier there. The cloud barrier is the thing that is broken during Tears of the Kingdom's intro shit, and you're able to see all the shit that's up in the sky still, because there's a bunch of sky islands in Skyward Sword. How fucking neat is that? You know, obviously, right? But we don't have loft wings anymore because they went extinct during the gap time of Skyward Sword to Four Swords or Minish. One of those times is when the sky lofts disappear, but they're still part of like the raining bullshit that's there. So there were people that were there before they went up to the sky, so it's possible that Tears of the Kingdom is telling that story, but it's saying that they founded Hyrule, and Hyrule came after Skyward Sword. So the Zonai would have been on the land, we just didn't ever encounter them because they went extinct a very long time ago. But if you go by that timing, that means that the Zonai went extinct like 30,000 years ago from the start of Breath of the Wild. The Zelda timeline is not that long. At most, we're about 20,000. Oh, it's still a fucking long time. Is it 20,000? Is it 1,000 years or is it 10,000 years? Hold up. Someone correct me on this. Breath of the Wild, the last time they had to deal with shit, was it 1,000 years or 10,000 years? I swear it's 10,000.
No, I never properly played that game because I didn't have a Switch until recently, so.
I have a Wii U, that's how I played it.
I had it on the Wii U, but my Wii U went out of service very quickly.
Yeah, they are kind of not so grand.
I used it. I played Breath of the Wild some, and then I played a lot of Mario Kart. The only thing I missed from it is the Mario Kart.
Trying to see if I can find a number in this, but they type out shit. They don't actually say it. Wait, what? Bro, where the number at? Where the fucking number at? Civilization, 4 numbers, 10 millennia later, so that means 10,000 years. Okay. Thank you. Why'd you have to type it like that, Wikipedia? Fuck you.
10 millennia later.
Oh no! 88 quiet. What up? We're going and getting an ad right now. Goddamn, not an ad. Not an ad. Goddamn. Alright, everybody, go stretch, go do your thing. You know, go use the washroom if you need to. Get a drink, you know. Get a snack, do something. I'm fucking starving. I'm gonna need to get food after this. My mom made stew the other night, and I'm gonna eat some leftovers tonight. Oh god,
I've been getting this thing called HelloFresh.
Oh man, do you subscribe to HelloFresh?
I do. Well, my mom does. I don't. My mom.
So
does,
you're willing to? If I were to do my subscription thing where I'm able to get sponsored by them, would you be willing to do it?
Give me over the link next time my mom orders. I'll make sure she orders.
I would need to get sponsored by them again. I currently am, but like I haven't actually like signed up with it. Why do I have so many fucking messages on here? Oh, it was you. Dude, the wildest thing. I am back. I have a story to 5 seconds story. I'm back now. Okay. That was you messaging me. I'm like, who the fuck messaging me while I'm streaming? What a silly goose. Man, I cannot believe that, like, my number one, my PayPal got fucking hacked, right? Like, that was the first thing that kind of threw me off because I never expected that to ever happen. But the fact that, like, people actually cared enough to help me get back to, like, that point right there. 370 out of 400. I don't know what to say about that. Like, that's fucking phenomenal because I lost, like, almost 400 bucks. Like, I literally lost about, like, 376 or some shit. So the fact that I end up pretty much getting it all back like in like a week or so from everyone being so supportive, like, I don't know, like, how to properly.
That's dope.
Yeah, I don't know how to properly explain in words how that makes me feel. You know what I mean? Like, it's just baffling. Like, it's a more support than I'd ever expect. You know?
Yeah, I don't think there's an English word for it.
Yeah, like, you understand how my brain works with just being like, I don't want people to do things for me, but like, I requested help, right? Because I'm trying to get over that. And the fact that people actually helped out like that much, like, I don't have an emotional response because my brain is fucked up though, but like, it's still like, holy shit, that's crazy at the same time. So like, I'm trying to explain it, but it doesn't make much sense the way I want to explain it.
It's because people know that you don't ask unless you actually really need it.
I guess, yeah. But like, I don't know. I just don't want to be that asshole. It's like, oh, give me money, give me money, give me money. But like, this is kind of my job to get money, you know, like, but I don't want to be like, oh, help. It's just, it really sucks because like, I had like the money from some of my Redbubble sales. I had money from merch sales. I had my Twitch payout. I had all of that shit. Just poof, gone. Because it was all on my PayPal. And then PayPal is just like, oh, well, we'll see what we're able to do to be able to get you your money back. I'm like, that would be fucking grand. Yeah. I'm surprised I even got back into my account, though, because PayPal is just not good for that shit. I wish there was another option, but there isn't. So. Spoiler warning, a little off topic, but I saw Genshin Impact Star Rail 3rd or whatever it called. New one. Yeah, it's Honkai Impact, not Genshin Impact, but yeah. Honkai Star Rail or whatever. Use Final Fantasy glass to enter a battle. Funny but common copy. When the main character gets squalled, I was like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Use FF glass? Like Final Fantasy glass? I don't know anything about it. I don't know about anything about Honkai Star Rail. It's not my thing. Genshin is barely my thing anymore, even though I love Genshin. But it be what it be. Okay. Yep. Well, normally my stream's only about 3 hours, but I'm good to keep going. What do you say, Vaughn? What do you want to do? What do you want to talk about?
I'm not gonna lie. I'm drained.
You weren't the one talking for 3 hours. What do you mean?
Dude, I gotta tell you, one of the problems I've got right now is that I'm so introverted at this point that, like, even just sitting listening to someone talk about something freaking awesome, I'm like, oh yeah, I could sleep for like a couple fucking hours now.
Wake up! Got a kids to put on a makeup!
But no,
I kind of get you though. Well, the problem is, like, if it's during the day, I'm an introvert. But if it's nighttime, I'm an extrovert. I'm just like some weird hybrid ambivert bullshit.
It's the moon. The moon awakens.
I think it's just like a 12-hour cycle where my body is like, oh, and then it's like, yeah, and then it's like, oh, people. I think it's because there's actually people around during the day, and the people that I encounter at night are usually a lot more chill.
That's true too, actually. That's a very good way to look at it.
Yeah, I actually made some friends not too long ago, going on a little nighttime walk. Would you like to hear the story of that, my friend?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So I'm doing my thing, and this is literally like, I think it was either the day of or the day before I saw that my PayPal had gotten hacked. No, it was the day of. I was like, you know what? I need to go for a walk. I just want to chill. It's a nice night. I'm just going to go for a nighttime walk. So I'm walking, and I was like, you know what? I could use a glass of water, right? So I go over to the subway. That's like about a 15-20 minute walk from my house, right? Because I was in that direction, right? So I stop in the subway, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna ask the guy for some water. We start shooting the shit. He looks at me, and I have relatively long hair now, right? Not compared to how long yours was. I don't know if it still is, but you know, I remember you having long hair at one point. And considering how long my hair used to be, my hair is not long to me, right? But I was like, you know, I got relatively long hair. So he looks at me and goes, and he's Indian, all right? Like, not like Native American, but like India, right? So he looks at me and goes, weird question. How do you make your hair look so nice? And I was just like, oh, well, number one, I'm Native. That's just kind of what we're lucky for. But if you're like worried about like making your hair look nice, whatever, my mom's also a hairdresser, so I know a lot of stuff. And I have I'm going to use this word. It is not always sexual, okay? A fetish for hair, okay? Where I am obsessive about it, right? It does not mean sexually attracted. It just means that I am obsessive about hair, right? I really enjoy it, right? I like brushing it, styling it, whatever, right? So that's what my brain is. I'm like, I want to constantly take care of my hair. So I know a lot about hair, and I know about brushing hair. So I was telling him about the type of products that he should use if he has to figure out what type of hair he has. And by a quick glance, I was telling him, right? And he goes, oh, okay. And I'm like, so you'll want like a particular type of shampoo, a particular type of conditioner, and you'll want to like not always use shampoo every single time that you shower, because that's how you're going to damage your hair, surprisingly, right? If you need to, use certain oils and stuff like that. There's hair balming oils. And he was like, okay, so let's teach him all this stuff. And then we start shooting the shit, and he goes, he looked at my shirt, and I'm wearing yes, hair fetish, yes. Well, what can I say? I like when she has blue hair and she has daddy issues, okay? Fuck off! No, anyways, so he looks at my shirt, and I'm wearing my Gura shirt that says shrimp on it, okay? And he goes, oh, you like anime? And I'm like, he doesn't know what a VTuber is, okay? I was like, yeah, I'm into anime, what's up, right? He goes, oh, what type of anime do you watch? And I was like, oh, I watch like quite a bit. Like right now I'm watching current season Demon Slayer, I'm rewatching Inuyasha.
Anime.
So he's like, so what's your favorite anime? And I was like, ooh, that's a tough one, but I'm gonna go with Cowboy Bebop. He went, oh, that's a really good one. Mine's Berserk. And I'm like, yo, what?
Oh.
I didn't, no, you're not imagining this guy correctly. You're not imagining this guy correctly. This is like the tiniest, nerdiest Indian man I've ever met, all right? And he fucking loves Berserk. And he's like, yeah, it's really fucked up and it's hard to get into for a lot of people, and I completely understand. And this guy is like a fucking hyper genius with the way he talks too, right? Like, he's very like mentally matured, right? And he's like gotta be a few years younger than me, right? So we're just like shooting the shit, having a good time, talking about anime and everything. And I was like, all right, man, well, he's like, so what do you do for work? And I told him, well, I'm a streamer, right? Like I do streaming, YouTube, TikTok, you know, general social media stuff like Instagram and Twitter. I run a Discord server. I do editing. I edit pictures for girls that are quote unquote accountants, shall we say. I do photography for them as well. So like I do a little bit of everything, right? I'm currently working on a few songs, right? He goes, oh, that's really cool. Like, can I check you out? And I'm like, yeah, like I'll give you my username type thing. So he said that he'd check me out. He still hasn't, but you know what? That's fine. It could be what it be. It's not like I won't ever beat a Subway again, right? So I'll
awesome guys, Subway.
Yeah, so him and I are, he was pretty cool. So I was like, I like this guy. So I was like, as I'm chilling in there, when I was walking towards that place, because again, I was on my nighttime walk, I saw this dude that was very clearly a crackhead, because where I live has a lot of crackheads. And I don't even mean that in like a joking manner. A lot of people in my town do a lot of methamphetamines, crack cocaine, and a bunch of other illegal substances, okay? Everyone in my town is fucked up on beyond belief, all right? So this dude was kind of really fucked up, right? So when I'm walking, I'm sure you guys have can tell I'm using like my higher pitched voice right now because my voice hurts from talking. So I'm using a higher tone so it doesn't, stream my voice. But allow me to drop it so I can make this a little bit more accurate. All right, let me drink some of my energy drink too. Blender your Subway sandwiches. No. So I'm sitting there, and this is before I was like leaving. I was just, having some more of my water. He had to go do some stuff. This crackhead walks in, the one that I'd walked past earlier. Well, some girls had already walked in too, and they were using the washrooms, so the one was waiting at the counter for him to, either make her a sandwich or buy a drink or whatever the fuck. Crackhead guy walks in, looks at me, and I wear leather jackets, and the leather jacket I was wearing that day has big spikes on the shoulders. And then I'm also wearing my all of my chains. I've got an aggressive look. I've got a ponytail. Currently my face is like super marked up from getting hit in the face from a bunch of shit from doing scrapping and like working on stuff in the backyard. So I look like I've been in like fights and everything. I look really aggressive, right? Just because that's my fucking face. And I've got like the deep voice or whatever. He looks at me and I've just got that like kind of look on him, right? And because I don't like people, right? So he just kind of walks past me and he goes to talk to the girl that was waiting at the counter. He's like, hey, do you got any matches or like a lighter? She's like, no, I don't smoke, right? And the other girls are luckily in the washroom, so he's not gonna bother them. Looks at the guy behind the counter because now he's come out because he heard the little ding thing from the door opening. And he's like, hey man, you got a lighter? Can I have? He's like, no, I don't smoke. So then he goes to leave, he turns and looks at me and goes, do you got a lighter? And I went, coincidentally, on the table behind me, someone had left a lighter behind. So I literally just looked at him and I'm like, and I've got like the look on my face, like I'm just going to kill you type thing. I was like, there's one right there. Right? And he was like, oh, thanks, man. And he just ends up leaving. And then everyone was sitting there like, this motherfucker was not scared of this fucking crackhead because this guy was like fucking tweaking, right? Like he was sketchy looking, right? Like I gotta hurt you any moment now type thing. And I just kind of looked at him like, there's one right there, right? And then he was just like, okay. And then I guess I intimidated him. I'm like, I'm a small soft boy, leave me be. But like, you know, I can look scary. So, you know, I go to leave eventually after a little bit because him and I are chilling and talking for a little while, like about an hour or two. Probably not 2 hours actually, probably about an hour, hour and a half. So I go to leave. And I see these two guys looking at their car, right? And they got their flashlights on and they're in the parking lot. So as I'm walking, I'm me. I think I'm funny. Their hoods popped. I'm like, oh, did you break it? They're like, yeah. I was like, you need a hand, right? And they're just like, it's just the bumper. We're just checking everything else too. And I'm like, all right. So I start walking over. I'm like, well, yeah, I used to be a mechanic like a few years back. Plus I've been working on cars since I could walk, right? So whatever. We started shooting the shit, end up talking. His bumper is kind of fucked. His anti-lock brake system, whatever the fuck it's called on newer Subarus or whatever, decided to fuck him up when he went to go take a corner and he hit a curb because of it. So he lost the race against the pickup truck that he was racing. So he felt kind of bad because he lost to a pickup truck, a lifted one at that, in his fucking all-manual tuned Subaru because of the brake lock system. He was like, yeah, gotta disable that bitch soon. Fuck that, right? But he was like, hey, you know what? It's just the bumper. We're both okay. Not a problem, right? I'm like, yo, you're a very positive guy. He's like, man, it's always good to be positive, right? So I'm sitting there and I'm having a smoke, right? Because I just sat inside for like an hour and a half, right? Talking with the dude. So the other guy that was there, and he looks at me and he goes, hey man, can I buy a couple smokes off you? I was like, bro. And I just like pull up my pack and I hand him a couple smokes. And he was like, I'm like, don't worry about it, dude. Like, it's just darts. Like, I don't give a fuck, right? Like, you don't need to pay me for a couple smokes, especially these because they're shitty res smokes, man. Right? He goes, oh, res smokes. Like, oh, you go to res? I'm like, yeah, go up to whatever, right? Because I'm not gonna tell you guys to fucking res this near me. I don't want to dox myself, right? And they're like, oh, that's so cool. We're from this res and this res, right? I'm like, yo, you guys are friends? Are you from different reses? They're like, yeah, no, weird, eh? And I'm like, yeah, that's fucking weird, right? Because like most reses, like it's almost like gang wars in some areas, and especially those two. They're like, yeah, man, we don't really give a fuck, right? And I was like, all right, cool. So we're shooting the shit, and they're like super positive, chill dudes. So I end up getting the one dude's number and sending him a text or whatever. So he's got my number, and because he works on cars and shit, right? Well, I work on cars and shit sometimes too, right? He does lights. Fun little, you know, hanging out, shooting the shit. I started talking about like paranormal stuff because there's something about natives, right? And the one guy, he looks white, right? But I mean, I look white, right? And the other dude, he looked black, but he was native, right? And I don't mean that in like any form of like rude way, right? This man looked like my friend Michael growing up, all right? My friend Michael is African American, right? This guy looks almost exactly like him, right? And like the exact same hair, he's got the same type of demeanor, he's got the same way he talks, and his skin is pretty much the same color because, well, you know, tan does get dark enough to look black, right? So yeah, like that's just how it is, right? So like at first I thought he was black and I thought the other guy was white, but then like they're like, oh yeah, we're both from these reses, and then they say the name of the reses, and I'm like, oh yeah, that makes a lot of sense, you know? Like that res looks like a lot of white people, but they are technically Métis, but not really Métis because they don't speak French. So, and then that guy, yep, they all pretty much look black. So yeah, it makes sense, you know, like I'm inclusive. I don't give a fuck. Shut up, shop boys. I can't get canceled for talking about my own fucking people. What do you mean? Talk about Native Americans, how we can look so different than people expect us to. We don't sit there and go, oh, beware of the makwa. My skin is red. Oh, hello, brother. Oh, we gotta, beware of the mantis over on the res, eh? We gotta, they're as bad as the fucking dogs. Fuck what? Holy shit, bud. Oh, brother. Oh, buddy. Gotta go grab my canoe. You know, like, that's not what the fuck we seem like. Some of us do, actually, but like, I can't get in trouble for talking about my own fucking people, all right? And about talking about how the one guy looked like my friend and the other dude looked white. No one gonna cancel you for saying the guy looked white, right? Because like most of the fucking world, to a degree, looks kind of white when you think about it, right? They either look like a normal white person from like Europe, right? Like so like, you know, like the main three, French, German, English, right? Or they're like neon white, like fucking Sweden, all right? Or they're like that, like, I'm a nice, beautiful, fuzzy white, like the Greeks, okay, and Italians, all right? So, or like, you know, like they look like a white person that could tan to that, right? Like, for example, a lot of my friends that are like Mexican and everything, their skin tone is the same as mine when like I can tan and I'm part native and mostly white, but I'm part native, you know? So most people have like a lot of Asian people, they look like their skin tone is matchably that to white people. The only way that you're able to tell is by like the undertone of the skin, right? Some people have an orange undertone, some people have a red undertone, some people have a green undertone, some people have like a brownish undertone, right? Like it all depends on the person, right? So now obviously, you know, black people aren't gonna look the same as white people because like they got a lot more melanin in their skin, right? And they got a much more beautiful skin that is able to protect them from the sun better, all right? So fuck you, all right? I can't get canceled for saying motherfuckers look white because like most of the fucking planet looks like white or tanned white, all right? That's all it is. And eventually we're all just gonna be some weird shade of beige after like thousands of years when we've all mixed our like blood together and everything, because like there ain't gonna be no like eventually we'll overcome this racism thing. Either that or we'll kill ourselves, and then the survivors won't have many options and we'll breed together, all right? And then we'll all become beige. End of the story. That's how it's gonna be. All the colors are gonna mix eventually, and we'll just be a united race eventually, hopefully, because fuck it. Race is a stupid thing to fight about. We're humans. Who gives a fuck what color you are or where you're from? So long as you're nice to me, I'm nice to you. So I can't get canceled for talking about these guys. Anyways, these two dudes, one looks like my buddy Michael from growing up, and he was a black guy. The other dude, he looked like a white guy, but once they said the reses, I was like, all right, yep, that makes sense. So around 33, white, Hispanic, and other mixes. Yeah, exactly, man. Who gives a fuck, right? People is people. It doesn't matter what fucking color you are, man.
I got a lot of Jewish and Irish in me.
Well, there you go. Two forms of people that have been massacred. And enslaved.
You know, I never thought about it that way, but now that you put it there.
Yeah, you think about it though.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah. Like the last people to be abolished from slavery were the fucking Irish.
That's true.
Like America was like, oh, we gotta abolish slavery, and Europe was sitting there like, no,
our thumbs are
like
up our
we're not
asses.
doing that. The Irish are still gonna be slaves for a while. So, and then when you think about like World War II, right? You got a mixture of like, ah shit, we're getting fucked up. So, fight the power, roll, fight the power. Anyways, these guys are super chill. We start talking about paranormal stuff because of course we are, because we're native, right? We end up saying something and I was like, oh, blah, blah, blah. And he went, oh, blah, 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 right? Like that's kind of how it went, right? Because he mentioned something. I was like, oh shit, you see that too type thing, right? Because we saw something, right? It's poking fun. You get neither side except to me. Yeah, honestly, that's how I feel. Mixed breed, fucking native and white. You know, white people don't like you because you're native. Natives don't like you because you're mixed, right? So fuck it, who cares? But you know, as you get older, you're just like, I don't give a fuck. So they end up talking to me after a little while, and they go, so question, man, like, are you American? And I looked at them. I'm like, what? And they're like, you sound very American. I'm like, that is the best compliment I've ever gotten. Thank you. And they're like, what? I'm like, I do my best to sound American. And they're like, why? I'm like, well, because I'm a full-time streamer. Most of my viewership are people that listen to American accents more. They're like, yeah, but you sound like you're from like Michigan or New York or something. I'm like, yeah, so you want to hear how I actually talk? And they're like, you actually talk? I'm like, I have a Northern Ontarian accent. And they were just like, there's no fucking way. I'm like, I'm Southern Ontarian. We have no idea where the accent came from. I think I picked it up from TV as a child. And they were like, okay. And I'm just like, well, if I start fucking talking normal, right? Like I'm gonna start sounding like this, and it's just not good. It does not sound good at all. So I just really don't like talking normal. So I do what I can to not sound like I'm from Canada, you know, because it's just up and down, and it does not sound nice. So I do what I can to not sound like that. And they just started laughing. They're like, yeah, okay, I understand. I'm like, yeah, thanks, man, thanks. Plus, I grew up in like a Middle Eastern and black neighborhood, so like I had like all that like, oh, we're thug gangster kids. They weren't, but you know, they pretended they were, right? So that's kind of how I grew up speaking, anyways. But like I had the like that was once my brain actually sort of clicked on around like 12 years old, you know. But before that, well, gee, how's that over there? That looks really nice. I like that. You know, like it's like no, stop. Don't speak Canadian. Don't be a dick. You good with me? Yeah, pretty much. Like, I don't give a fuck where you're from or what you're like. Okay, the only thing that I ever have issues with, and it's not because I'm like hateful towards it. I don't care to understand it. I have nothing against it. It's just if it's what you identify as, is what you identify as. I don't need to understand it to respect it. I don't need to like it to respect it. But if you identify as any of these weird things that isn't, you know, like the stereotype that we have had for the past thousands of years, you want to be like a Zimzer, they, them, whatever, I'm not going to make fun of you from it. Like, I will not, right? But I don't care. That's all. I respect it, right? Like, if you want me to call you a certain thing, I will try to call you that. I might not do that, though, because my brain is not I'm not a very intelligent individual, okay? And if you sound like a female, I will probably call you female. If you sound like a male, I will probably call you male, right? It is an accident. It is not intentional. I do what I can to not do that, but it happens, right? But at the same time, if you start being like, I'm a 𝐂𝐲𝐴𝐺𝐵, there's burrs, and I'm like, I identify as a Apache attack helicopter, fuck you up, stop. Right? And they're like, what? I'm like, I identify as, I'm gonna fuck you up, shut up, right? If you're making up shit off your ass, because it didn't even sound like you were confident in what you said, you know, fuck off, you know? Like, that's the only time I'll be a little aggressive about it. And like, personally, I don't believe that there's like a bajillion different sexualities. It's not, you're just, humans like to diversify, but also want to feel special because of it. But then they want to be part of a group at the same time, so they create tiny collectives. If you are demisexual per se, okay, and like this is not to hate on anyone, I still got mad respect. The thing is, it's human psychology. That's all I'm commenting on. I'm not commenting on the thing itself, okay? If you identify as demisexual, that means that you need to have a good emotional connection with someone before you want to have sexual intercourse with them, right? That is how that works, right? You want to have a connection with someone before you encounter that. Right? Because that is what your sexuality is. That's not your sexuality, that's your preference. You either like male, female, in between, outside that realm, whatever. You just have standards. I'm sorry, it's not a sexuality, you have standards. You're not a whore. Congratulations. I am. I will have sex with you the first time I meet you, if you want to, all right? I don't need an emotional connection, right? Because I'm a hoe, right? But if you're not, that just means that you have standards. It's not a sexuality, right? But people are so dummied to the idea of what certain words mean that they use words incorrectly anymore. And they just don't understand what a standard is. Eventually, you know, things will work out and people understand things. It'll be a little bit better. But honestly, that is exactly how that works. That is your preference. That is not a sexuality, right? You still would have a preference as well on if you like, say, people will get mad about it, but like people have a preference about what skin tone they like, all right? That's just a thing. It's instinct, right? There is nothing wrong if you aren't attracted to a certain person because of a certain aspect of them. That's like people not being attracted to me because I'm an asshole. I get it, right? It's an aspect about you. Everyone is unique, okay? In being unique, that makes us all not unique, but you know, everyone is different, right? And like, if you're attracted to someone because of like, say their hair, right? And then they got a haircut and you're not attracted to them anymore, that is no different than saying that you were attracted to someone and then they got a tan, okay? That's their skin tone though. You know what I mean? Like, it's being attracted to someone is entirely instinctual. It is a primal urge. That is what makes you attracted to someone. You can't judge someone for that, right? So like, that's why I don't hold it against people that are like, oh, well, I don't like them because like, I'm not really attracted to this kind of thing, or I am more attracted to this. Like, recently I matched with a girl on Bumble, right? And we start talking and she said to me, because she's Chinese, okay? And she said, are you okay with going on a date with someone that isn't your race though? And I said, well, I'm mixed race, so I would be kind of a bigot if I didn't, or a hypocrite if I had an issue with that, right? And she was like, oh, and I'm like, I have nothing against the color of your skin, where you're from, or anything about that. It's the person themselves that matters, right? So if you're attracted to someone based off of where they're from, That's not really an issue either though, because like when you think about it, that's just an aspect of them, right? That means that, like per se it's her, right? This girl that I'm talking about, right? I don't know anything about China, right? Aside from the fact that you can't call like the fucking, what do they call him? The dictator there. I'm sorry, president, prime minister, whatever he is, Winnie the Pooh, right? And if you really want to win in a video game, you talk about Tiananmen Square, whatever the fuck it is. Just type that in chat. Everyone that's Chinese in your server will be banned. That's a fun fact, by the way. Whatever that square thing is that happened in the fucking 19-somethings, I think 70-something, the tank thing. Yeah, if you just type that, type that into chat in any online game. Watch how many people leave the game because they're playing in China. That will automatically cut their connection. It's really fucking funny because China limits that. If that comes up, they will immediately cut off the internet connection to that person. It's really funny. Dick move, but kind of funny. But anyways, with her, like, say I wanted to learn about China, right? And I'm attracted to people because of aspects of them. A part of her is where she is from, and I would be able to learn more about her culture and her people from talking with her, right? Is that not something good, right? It's not I'm attracted to her because she is a certain look, which is completely okay as well, right? But I'm attracted to her because I can learn more about her, where she's from. It gives me more depth to a relationship if I were to ever pursue that with that person, right? Same thing if I were to date a Mexican girl, or I were to take like an English girl, like from England, or someone from India, or someone from fucking Japan, or someone from Brazil, right? Like it doesn't matter. Like even talk like people from different provinces from me, right? Someone from British Columbia would have a completely different upbringing than I would here in Ontario because our entire landscape is different. Our economy is different, even though it's the Canadian economy, the provincial economy is different, right? What we grew up with is entirely different, right? So like being attracted to someone, it goes deeper than just their appearance when you are instinctually attracted to their appearance, because your brain will be like, how do I learn more, right? Because that's just, if you are attracted to them, you will learn more about them. So, and people are very quick to jump onto things. They don't want to learn more about the full situation. They just hear what they want to hear and then they get mad. And that's the problem with fucking today's society. Rural area always want to grow up thinking they're gangster. Big fish in a small pond. Yeah, I've put enough of those kids in their place because I used to work on a farm too. Technically I'm a city kid, but I also worked on a farm growing up, so I small town but big city kind of feel. And the working on a farm as well. So you go out to like the farm and there's like the other areas with the rural kids with it, because there was a kid that was on the farm that we worked at, and he had some kids over the one day, and then they started trying to bully him, and they were like, oh, blah blah, and then I just turned and I looked at him, and at the time I was pretty small, right? But I was about 13 and I used to get in fights all the time because I was in a gang at that time, right? I know, stupid 13 gang, but it's true, and it's when I got stabbed too, so I mean it's factual, right? And these kids were like, oh, blah blah, they think it's trying to act tough, and I was like, hey, you think you're gonna get, if you keep that shit up, you're gonna get hurt, right? He's like, oh yeah, well you gotta do shit, keep blah blah. Walked over, I just fucking decked him as hard as I could with my foot, right? Not a normal punch, no, I fucking roundhouse this bitch to the ground, and he went down. And I looked at his buddy, he was like, who's next? And they're like, I'm like, yeah, you're not gangster. I can tell you who is gangster, because at the time I was in a gang, and that was the type of way that we used to talk back then. I was like, yeah, I can tell you who's gangster. You aren't nothing. I can kick the shit out of all of you right now. So how about you show some respect to him because you're at his house before I make you show respect, right? And I'm like little like 12, 13-year-old me, right? And I'm like, I'm this little tough kid, right? But I knew that these kids, yeah, sure, they work on a farm. They've never been hit before that wasn't by their dad, all right? And as bad as that sounds, right? They've never been in a fight before, right? They've been in little scraps, right? But you don't want to, like the ones that have been in a fight, those are the rural kids that you don't want to get a fight with. But the ones that think that they're gangster aren't tough. It's the ones that are just quiet into themselves. Those are the kids that you don't want to get in a fight with, right?
And the ones you don't want to get in a fight with are the ones that, you know, have been in one before.
Yeah, but like these guys have absolutely no fighting experience, and their whole thing was they're gonna throw punches and grapples. No, I'm gonna fucking dummy you. My leg is twice as long as my fucking arm, right? I'm just gonna whack roundhouse, fucking make you do a cartwheel in the air, and then look at the next guy and go, who wants to get hit next? You know, like that's pretty much exactly how that worked. And they were all kind of intimidated. They all like ran away. And I got in trouble, but you know, I protected him, so I didn't even like that kid. I just worked on his farm, so might as well protect him, right? I think his mom would at least appreciate it. So
yeah.
Hello. Konnichiwa. 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 Hello. Okay. Hello, Arturo. All right, so I've called my sister he before. I just revert to he because I'm a guy. Yeah, guys are just dumb. I literally call everything dude, and people get offended. I'm like, I call my mom dude. What do you mean? I call my cat dude. I call my dog dude. I call my computer dude. I call my chair dude. Everything is dude. All right, I don't put a gender behind that. It's just a fucking word. But I get shit because I look white and I'm not attracted to Hispanics due to a childhood trauma thing and never got over it. Get called racist. But aren't you Hispanic? Aren't you Hispanic? Like, I don't think you can be racist to Hispanics if you are Hispanic, right? I call my cat he too. I call everything like he, dude, whatever. I just say shit, man. I don't give a fuck. So, yeah, exactly. Yeah, Yubich, you're Hispanic. You can't be racist towards Hispanics if you are Hispanic, right? Like, you can dislike your own race, but that doesn't make you racist, right? Because you can't be racist to yourself. That's just self-hatred, not racism, right? I can sit there and be like, oh, all natives are like this and all whites are like this because that's the other part of me that's saying it, right? So technically I can say that, but at the same time, like, you could technically be racist to anyone, but like, no one can call you racist for making fun of your own race, right? And that's why, like, I'll make jokes about like native shit, like the whole beware of the makwa, you know, which, by the way, makwa means bear in Ojibwe. Or sorry, Ojibwan. Yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, there's I can make jokes like that because that's my fucking people. Am I from that tribe? No, but we're all in this together of being, you know, treated like shit. So fuck it, you know, like, native is as native does, bro. Place I grew up, thought everything in South America was Mexico. Jesus Christ. Mind you, is it not? No. Nah, I kid. Man.
Not even remotely.
My favorite thing is when people say they can't be racist to white people, and I'm like, bruh, what? It's a race. And they're like, oh, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, look, it's just stupid shit. Don't, why, what, huh? Like, it's still a race of people. Well, they were blah, blah. The last, like, aside from the Middle East that still has slavery, because certain areas do still have slavery, okay? Whether you want to believe it or not, all right? And I think some parts of Africa do too, but anyways, you know, the last people to be freed from slavery were white, all right? Not black, white. The fucking Irish. So, like, they know what it's like. Not all of us, but if you weren't a slave yourself, you don't know either. You know, like, I hate that fucking argument. Like, people is people. Who cares what the fuck color you are, what you're attracted to? Well, okay, there's certain limitations to what you're attracted to. Obvious ones, you know, like, you know what I mean? Anything legal is okay. If you go for illegal stuff, get the fuck out of here, right? I don't got no respect for that at all.
It's illegal for a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like, don't go for children, don't go for animals, and don't... I guess there's nothing really wrong with fucking a dead body, but you're gonna get some diseases. So, and probably the maggots and shit inside your pee-pee holes, so don't want to do that. But like, I mean, technically that one is legal. It is technically legal. Depending on what state you're in. And also there are states in America where you can legally have sex with a horse, but not the point. All right, anything that it would be culturally wrong, don't do. But like, other than that, who gives a fuck what you're attracted to? If you're attracted to people of a certain race, it doesn't matter, okay? The people in that race need love too, all right? So what the fuck does it matter, all right? Maybe they're attracted to people of your race. You'll find the one, right? Maybe you're attracted to like older people, right? So long as the person is over the age of 18, it doesn't matter if they're younger, right? But like, if they're 18 and older, that's fine. You know, I'm sitting here, I turned 27. If I'm like, one of the girls I'm seeing, she's 24, right? She's younger, right? But I've also been with women that are in like, they're fucking like 40s. So I don't really give a fuck, right? Older doesn't matter. Younger doesn't matter. So long as it's legal, you know, who gives a fuck? So long as people are people, right? Whether you're attracted to a guy, a girl, inside or outside those fucking boundaries of that constraint, you know, fuck it. Who cares? You know? A friend from South America was called Mexican. They pissed them off saying, technically I'm American. I'm from South America. Yeah, you can look it up, man. I think it's one of the Midwestern ones. Fair enough, but goddamn, those are great. Fucking Vex comes in, and this is the only thing she says. This bitch. Okay, to be fair, if Vex had a kid, though, she would be a MILF. So, like, currently, she's just a hot chick, so, you know. Anyways, how's it going, Vela? I don't know how I feel about saying that, Vela. It feels weird. Vex. I don't know how to. Feels weird. Vaccine. Okay. I'd wear a shirt with that. I love MILFs. I heart MILFs. All right, I'll go make a Redbubble shirt right now for you. I heart MILFs. And then underneath it, it'll be like, man, I love frogs. All right. What about Mila's? Not Mila's. No, no, no. Oh, boy. Especially trash about. Fuck off, you weirdo. Ah, so weird. So many people are like, your mom's attractive. I'm like, my mom is also married to a dude that literally only went to jail for assault. And he went more times than he could count. They've been married for 26 years. I would choose my words quite carefully. But like, ah, never mind. Your mom is pretty. And I'm like, yeah, that's the better way of phrasing it. Oh, but I know Vex is fine. It's just I try my best to not do the weird thing. By the way, guys. By the way, look at this command right here. Papa Booey, your boy got a new partnership, by the way. Use that fucking link. You get able to get 10% off if you use code TRASHMOUSE. All right. They got energy drink powder, and they've also got knock you the fuck out powder that has melatonin in it. Is it melatonin? Is that the shit that knocks you the fuck out? I don't fucking know. You know what I'm talking about? The blue shit, pill shit, whatever. Yeah, but it's a powder. Fucking dope. All right. They've got orange creamsicle flavor. They got orange creamsicle flavor, and the knockout shit. I think it's grape that they've got, and they've got like acai berry, and I think they've also got the rocket pop for the energy shit. So yeah, sleep stuff. Yeah, they got both. They can wake you the fuck up or knock you the fuck out. So yeah, use that code and get 10% off, or use my link and then use code TRASHMOUSE to be able to. That's also down in the. I just used my hands as if I had hand tracking. Down in the panels down there, you can also see the code. It's TRASHMOUSE. I think it's all caps. And you get 10% off. All right, so go do that. I haven't been mentioning it because I completely forgot. But yeah, I need money, and we are $30 shy of me being able to pay all my bills, and that'll be another way for me to be able to generate income. And you guys get energy drink powder, and I think it's about $1 a drink because there's 30 servings and they're about $30 per tub. Totally fucking worth. So, dude, I might get some because the G Fuel I got recently was kind of shit. G Fuel is shit. I'm sorry. I'm doing it right now. I'm killing any old brand deals I could ever get with G Fuel. G Fuel is absolute fucking dog shit. Okay, I'm sorry. It tastes disgusting. And people are like, oh, well, you know, they didn't mix it right. Motherfucker, how many energy drinks do you think I've tried before? All right, I know how to fucking mix it. I've done it with like more or less powder. I've done it with more or less water. I've tried it with Sprite. I've done all this shit. G Fuel is just shit. It tastes like chalk. Right, the only good one was the PewDiePie one, or the ones that are already in a can, and even then they're eh. All right, fuck it. All right, I said what I said. Gamer Sups is good. Pog is good. Swift Lifestyles, my old one, even they were good, but that's not really an energy drink. It's more like a health drink. But you know, like I've tried all those. Right, I haven't tried Advanced GG. I want to try it. It's probably gonna be good. Right, but my partnership with Pog is gonna be my main one because they got fucking orange creamsicle flavor, bro. That's my shit. I'm literally drinking that right now as a monster. Well, it's technically Rain, but it's Rain is owned by Monster.
Rain.
Yeah, boy. A equals appreciate for when you like, but F doesn't fit. Wait, what? The watermelon one was pretty good, but I got this like coconut pina colada is aroma only. Yeah, right? The rest is like liking a chalkboard. Yeah, G Fuel is just shit. It always tastes like fucking chalk, man.
Chalkboard. I'll be right back.
All right, well, I'm probably actually gonna call it shortly, my dude. So
actually,
once
no,
you get
I can wait then, because the dog wants to go to bed is what's happening.
Oh, okay, I get you. That's fair. I understand. I understand.
She's like,
Mila
it
versus
is 10 o'clock here.
What the fuck are we talking about? Oh, okay, I get it. I understand now. Thank you, Yumish. I'm not a very bright individual. You should know this. So allow me to see who the fuck is online. But yeah, go use my code TRASHMOUSE in order to get 10% off, and have a get some fucking energy drink powder or some Nokia juice. It'll be good for you. All right, do it the fuck up. All right. Where do I want to throw you? I know where. We're going here. All right, let me go grab this real quick. I'm throwing you guys at a fucking loser. All right, that's where I'm gonna send you, to a fucking loser. All right, I'm gonna throw you at this absolute fucking dweeb. Okay, this scummy little bitch boy. All right, this is where you guys are gonna go. All right, everybody, Go show some love to Banana, alright? Banana bought 9,000. It's a good boy. I love him. He's my fucking loser best friend. One of them. Alright? Loser rig. Yeah. They'll just be like, Trash says you're a dweeb. That's what you guys are gonna say. Trash says you a dweeb. Alright? I've had a lot of fun tonight. Thank you so much for being here, Vaughn. I appreciate you, brother.
Oh, yeah. Thanks
and
for having me.
And you listened to all of my ranting.
It was great.
Are you ready for tomorrow night? Doing the same thing?
Especially Zelda. Well, I won't be around tomorrow night.
Yeah, I'll be playing more than likely tomorrow night. Well, actually, I should run this up with you guys really quick. I might not be streaming tomorrow night because I might be going to a 3-story tall bonfire out at the farm. So if not, I might stream on Sunday. I might not. Who no fucking knows. Don't expect tomorrow to be a stream, but if there is, then I would like to play a Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time mod, and it's called Indigo. It is brand new. It is fucking dope. We will probably end up doing that. All right, dweeb, 2 E's, but yes. The boy. Yeah, show Banana some love. You guys are absolutely fucking stunners. I appreciate every last one of you being here. Remember to use my code if you guys are not already. Follow me across my various social media. Go do so right there. Oops, that was not correct. I put an apostrophe on accident. All right, there we go. Check out all that shit. If you're not part of the Discord, join the Discord. If you are not part of, or about to run out of time. Oh god, if you coffee, all dead. And throne. All right, shit I want to get, shit I can give you. I love you guys. Have a good night, and I will see you potentially tomorrow. If not, who fucking knows? Bye bye.